Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Let's go, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Wednesday night, though, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find him on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Matarak, Greg Mokovic, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos. We're back, bitches. What's up? Baptism talk tonight. A lot of things, because we got a fan base on the Sixers side right now that's in full panic mode. We'll talk about the Sixers later on in the show. While there's no need to panic, relax a little, in the words of Aaron Rodgers. Calm down a little bit. You got two generational stars. We'll talk about that all later on the show. Manny Machado, it's obviously official now. He is a Los Angeles Dodger. And Matt Quintac, as we talked about last night, dropped the baseball on this. And we'll talk about Machado later on the shows. Hoskins, home run derby performance.
That's debatable.
What, did they drop the ball?
Yeah, it's debatable.
Well, okay.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, you can target a guy for your whole goddamn life and not come through with him. That's dropping the ball. Because if I target a girl my whole life, I'm coming through with her. That's what winners do. Winners come through with the girl they targeted or whoever they targeted. He drafted him. We've been here for 3 years. All I've heard about is Manny Machado. That's all we've heard about. I feel like we've done at least 5 shows discussing Manny Machado over a 3-year stretch, have we not?
It's possible.
Well, we're going to have a fun talk about it tonight. Aaron Nola's NL All-Star debut.
Good shit.
Oh, it always is. Throwing a wiffle ball for strikes, baby. That's what Mr. Nola does.
Although Mookie Betts got a little taste of 96 around the letters.
He did have a little gas last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
That's what happens when you only throw one inning.
Yeah, you let it go.
You just
Let it
you
rip.
let it rip.
Closer mentality.
Let it rip, tater chip.
So, listen, our poll question, because we're real close, about a week
like
away.
A week away.
Like a week away from Eagles training camp, Super Bowl champions. And our poll question tied right into it, brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find on the web, scanzanosports.com. Which second-year player will take the biggest step forward for the Eagles in 2018? Derek Barnett, Corey Clement, Sidney Jones, Mac Hollins. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. ATD Radio is where you can find us. If you're on the YouTube side of things, hit subscribe, baby. You want the alerts. And if you're on the book and you're not doing it, we're here to sell. We're giving away free clues tonight.
You want the alerts. You need the alerts.
You need them.
You got to have the alerts.
It's like a wrestling promo. That was good. Was it a wrestling promo?
This is my hand.
Is that wrestling? I'm like, is that wrestling? I don't know.
It wasn't, but I turned it into it.
But you turned it into it. It felt like it. And listen, your comments, questions, concerns, we're answering everything tonight as usual here. And if you did another subscription, sign on over to ATD Real Talk Group if you're on the book, because that's an open forum of nonsense a lot of times, which is great. So, to the poll question, boys, let's get the party started. Who's going to have the biggest step forward in 2018? Which second-year player for the Eagles?
I'll defer to Mr. Milakovic on this one.
Greg, how are you?
I'm good. I didn't think we were talking Eagles, but hey, here we are. I'm not in Eagles mode yet.
Well, nobody is. But
I'm in middle of summer. It's
but
baseball mode.
But we're going to get him into Eagles
Oh,
mode.
it happens. For me, it's the only logical choice for the jump is Sidney Jones.
Okay.
Because there's no first year. You know, there was nothing in the first year, so I think the biggest jump is going to be obviously going from nothing to what we expect Sidney to be, and that's one of our starters on the outside. Maybe not game one, but by the end of the year, I think he's going to show what we drafted and what we stole in the draft, and that's a top-flight cornerback.
I love your logic there, and in a vacuum, I think that would be my answer too. For me, I'm kind of in wait-and-see mode with Sidney. And it's not because I don't believe in his ability. It's I want to see how they use him. Does he start on the outside right away? Does he start in the slot? Is he a rotational guy? Which, if he's a rotational guy, I'm going to go smack somebody over there. But you never know. I mean, they are deep at that position. So, for me, I think we know, or at least we saw towards the end of last year, what Corey Clement is going to be. Derek Barnett's a starter on the outside on the defensive line. So, for me, I'm jumping on the Mac Daddy train, and I'm going with Mac Hollins. I mean, you watch his kid last year. He's always open. He doesn't drop the ball. He's got way better speed than I think anybody anticipated. And if they can get him in the right package, or if he just goes out and flat out beats out Mike Wallace, which he could do, I think this kid could be last year's Nelson Aguilar.
Could be.
I want to put an asterisk next to Sidney in this because, okay, yeah, he's a second-year player, but it's really his first year. I mean, let's be real. I mean, he's had to set out most of the season when you talk about an Achilles injury. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he started practicing towards the end. But to me, he's still, all intents and purposes,
he's a pup.
I'm calling him still a rookie.
He's a pup. Yeah,
because we only seen it for a minute. Let's be real. We only seen it for a minute.
But that's why it was the easy answer.
It's the easy answer. But I like where Mike's going, and you got a lot of people saying Corey Clement, and I don't think there's really – to me, there's not a wrong answer on the board tonight. But I'm going to go with Derek Barnett because, I mean, the flashes we saw, the ability to get to the quarterback, we know what wins in this league. I mean, Corey had a great rookie year. You need wideouts, obviously, but you got to be able to go get the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed not only numerous times getting the quarterback in big spots, too. I only see a jump from there. I think it's easier for a DN2 coming into the league, because you can just put your ears back and go get him. Right. But I see a jump not only getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. I just see a huge upside with this kid. I see a guy who could get double-digit sacks this year, and I don't think that's far stretched. So, I mean, if he walks away with 10 to 12 sacks on the outside this year, not saying that's the number, but just say double digits. That's probably going to be the biggest jump from any player, unless you talk about Corey going off for, 1,500 all-purpose yards, something like that, or Mac going off for 800 to $1,000, which is going to be tough because both spots you got other guys too.
And they spread the ball around so well on the offensive side.
And they do. And with Derek, it's like, okay, you're gonna go in mostly on pass rush situations. You're gonna be fresher. So I think all that plays into him having a monster year. But
you think he's on his way to being an elite defensive end?
I think he has the ability to. I mean, when you're talking about a guy drafted in the top 15 who is breaking SEC, or breaking Tennessee sack records, SEC sack records, the pedigree to go get it's there. So, I mean, he's close. And I think
sorry, fam.
No, you're good. I think being able to play with these vets is only going to help him, too, because you're going to learn so many different techniques, so many new techniques. Michael Bennett, whatever you want to talk about off the field, I don't care. But as a football player, he's going to help this kid. Yep. We saw what Chris Long did for him and his whole line. And then you talk about Brandon Graham, too. So you got so many vets that have been to Pro Bowls, have had big monster years that are all going to help this kid learn if he's willing to learn.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. You draft a guy to top 15, and that was part of my questioning with the pick is just because how he's been so wrong with DNs in the past. And I'm not saying he's, we obviously think he's right on this one so far.
Right.
But, Jerome McDougal, the list goes on of the bad, and I don't, he wasn't Howie, I'm sorry.
Right, but no, I get your point.
The list goes on. So you're right. You draft a guy in the top 15, you hope he turns into a double-digit sack guy. You hope he turns into an elite pass rusher. Right. And I think you're right, Tom. He's got the skills. He's got the technique so far. You're right. You don't break Reggie White's record in the SEC.
It's tough one. Yeah, it's tough.
And not be good. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't do that by being a jabron.
Out of every guy on this list, right? Mm-hmm. And we know we're sort of astering Sidney here, but every guy on this list, if you had to pick one that could possibly be a Pro Bowler next year, what guy are you taking? I think that's how you have to look at it.
Oh, no, and you're absolutely right.
What guy has the ability out of all of them that you can really see it right off the bat? And I think that's Barnett. I think it's because F teams is saying, we're too deep for Mac right now, which hurts him, which you already touched upon.
Right.
You know what I mean? You talk about Corey, you have a Jai ahead of you.
And now Sproles
is back. That's going to obviously take touches away. Yep. And then you look at Sidney, where you're deep at corner too, where it's going to be tough to get on the field a lot. So if you're looking for the jump, it's going to be the guys on the field a lot.
And you also mentioned the Pro Bowl, and you also have to look at the positions they play.
Right.
It's tough to make a Pro Bowl as a wide receiver unless you're a true number one.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to make, especially when you're in a tandem backfield, to make a Pro Bowl as a running back,
right.
especially a second or third option. So you're absolutely right. I mean, you usually go with that pass rusher because if he does get to that double-digit number, that flashes.
Yeah,
that
no
says
question.
something.
Chiming in. People already chiming in. We got a lot coming in. Hot tonight. Eagles are right around the corner. It gets people excited. Brandon Carney says Clement. Howie Rafferty, Corey Clement. Kyle Meager says Jake Elliott.
You know what? It's actually a pretty good name.
I mean, you kind of.
He is a second-year Eagle.
It's tough though to get better than 61.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like I was going to respond to that because he put it in the YouTube too. I was going to respond. It's like it's almost tough to get better than the year he had.
Can I just hit the pause button for 1 second? I want to take you back. We never make these against anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody always makes these against us. Get in! Get in! Get in! Yeah!
That's a great reenactment too. Spot on. That's exactly what we were saying.
I think I've watched that about 800 times.
Yeah, I think I'm right with you. I don't watch a lot of stuff over and over, but that moment,
Yeah.
that whole week, I must have watched that a million times just in that week.
Just the whole narration with the Titanic theme in the background. And it was the best when you're like, we never make these. Everybody always makes them against us. We never make these.
Matt Bryant.
And then he kicks the ball, and it's just like.
Just like floating. It's like floating in there. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get there?
Get in! Get in! Get in!
It looks like it's on. Yeah, we got tons chiming in right now. Where was I at? Where was I at?
900 degrees up in here right now, too. Wow.
Dion Brown says, bottom of the evening, fellas. Let's
Oh,
talk
what's up,
about
Dion?
it. What are you drinking, brother?
I bet he's drinking High Life tonight.
Oh.
It's a High Life kind of night.
It is a high life kind of night.
It's a little warm out.
Mike Parker, I'm going Sydney or Mac.
You only pick one, Spidey.
Come on, Parker. You're better than this.
Actually, what I thought was interesting was Pootie Tang says Donnell Pumphrey will make the biggest jump. I think you got to asterisk him same way you do Sidney Jones, though. Because there is no year one.
I'll give him that because the year one was you stink and you just weren't good enough.
And you went on IR because we needed to redshirt you.
Right. I mean, Sidney was a legit injury. Donnell Pumphrey was not a legit injury. That was
Well, might as well keep him injured.
A Fugazi injury.
I would love to just keep him injured because I don't think he's good enough. You know what I mean? That's just
We'll
me.
see.
And he
We'll
might
see.
be. He might surprise me. You know, that happens. It's part of it. Ralphie D, fuck Quintac, fuck the Dodgers. Couldn't have said it better myself, Ralphie.
Crumb.
My mom chiming in. What'd she say? She says, Mommy says Corey. And then she said, we're all wrong because Mom knows best. So all three of us were wrong.
This is true.
And it's true. And it's probably going to be Corey now. Watch. We'll have to be like, remember when your mom told you it was Corey Clement and you guys picked up everybody else but him?
Your mom's jersey bias.
Was that Ralphie
Yes,
D?
she is. She smelled. He lived in Glassboro?
That was Ralphie D saying that?
What, fuck Quintac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to say, basically he's saying fuck Magic, but it depends on what jersey he's wearing.
Well,
Yeah, he said that on the show. He goes, I know this is going to sound weird, and it's going to sound weird coming from me, but FLA.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm like, I don't know, man. That's kind of a Fugazi fan right there.
Ralphie
might as well turn into purple and gold.
Ralphie flip-flop.
Yeah, Ralphie flip-flop.
There's a lot of flip-flop going on in the family today. Just saying.
Just saying. Charles says, yo, guys, I think the video posted earlier on A2D's page is 100% accurate on how excited I am. As for the poll question, I think it will be Barnett. He's going to be leaned on a lot more this season, especially with the departures and injuries so far along the D-line. And then he says, after Barnett, I think it's Sidney. It might take a few weeks for him to get into the swing of things, but I think by midseason he will start to really shine. And I think we all agree there. And then he says training camp is a week away. Gina Rambo, I forgot tickets were available today. Grr.
Oh, that was a hot mess.
You're out.
I'm on Ticketmaster at 10 a.m., and that thing spun for 10 minutes and kicked me off. And then I'm like, all right, well, I got to go check email for work, so, I'll come back to this. Literally, like a minute later, I get a reminder from the Eagles app. Tickets available on Ticketmaster. And I'm like, okay, let me go back to it. Nope, nothing. Completely sold
I
out.
wouldn't even have tried.
I know.
There's no shot in hell you can catch me at one of those
I know, like,
free practices.
no, I know.
thanks.
I know 3 people that got them, and obviously, I'll get there for at least one of them. But it was just, let's say, it was a little bit of an annoyance this morning with that. And I know a hell of a lot more people complaining that they couldn't get him than actually did get him.
Ismael Rodriguez want to know what the poll question is again. Which second-year player will take the biggest step forward for the Eagles in 2018? Derek Barnett, Corey Clement, Sidney Jones, Matt Collins, other.
Or throw another one out there. Yeah.
Michael DeAndrea, 1 week until training camp. Hell yeah. Stephanie Hoover, the whole fam's here. Yeah, they are. Everybody's here. Dion says, I'll say Barnett is on a faster pace to a Pro Bowl before Sidney Jones right now. Agreed. Chrome, my initial reaction was Barnett, but I think he's just scratching the surface. This year, I think Clement emerges as an intricate part of the offense.
Well, I think he already is an integral part of the offense. It's just going to be a matter of how many touches he winds up getting with. Because let's be honest. It is Ajayi and Sproles ahead of him.
I mean, is it fair to say, no matter what Ajayi does, this is his last year here?
I'm going to say no.
Because of the emergence of
Charles just fell off his chair.
I can understand.
And I'm not saying we trade him. I'm just saying when his contract's up, we're not going to take a chance on those knees anymore.
And it's possible. I understand where the question comes from. I would say, though, with this already being Sproles' last year, where he's basically said, this is it, after this year I walk away, that could entice them to maybe bring Ajayi back on a shorter contract. I mean,
Le'Veon Bell's going to be a free agent next year.
And I hear what you're saying. But
Pop pass.
I'll tell you, I will tell you this.
Hey.
I'll tell you this right now. I have 2 fantasy leagues already where they have the draft order. And I am taking Le'Veon Bell number 1 in both leagues because Pittsburgh is going to run the tires off of that guy. He's probably going to have 1,800 yards rushing and over 1,000 yards receiving, and then he's going to turn into DeMarco Murray. Wherever he goes next,
Interesting.
Where was I at? Yeah, well,
Chrome.
Oh, yeah, Chrome. What a Chrome. Where was
Well,
that?
you left off at Chrome. That brought up my...
Rob nods approvingly with my fantasy reference over here.
Well, Charles says that he
They'll run
believes...
Frogger into the ground.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. Bob Anderson. Yo, NFC Championship game is on the network. Listening to A2D and watching the birds fly, Eagles fly.
That's a fan
Love
right there.
it, Bob.
Yeah, boy, Bob.
Charles pretty much saying in so many words that he believes Clement's overhyped by fans a little bit. That he's been hearing like superstar. And he just wants to tell people to pump the brakes a little bit.
Local bias.
You know what I mean? So it is a little bit of that. And then him and Chrome are now battling back and forth, which you can catch every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, Birds of a Feather, A2 Day. Look at a kid plugs. He's back. Charles says, Greg, I actually do agree with you. I think the chance that it is Ajayi's last year. His chronic knee issues might prevent him from getting that long-term contract. And then I keep getting more people commenting, so then I lose this. But he's pretty much saying he, believes the knees are going to prevent that a little bit. Michael DeAndre, how can I take anyone seriously with a Manning on their profile picture? And he's talking about Sean Spielman because Sean says, I think they're all going to take a big dump, and Eli we trust Saquon. Now he's puffing chest.
Hey, look.
After a terrible year.
I'll tell Sean straight out. That Giants offense may be the most talented offense in the NFC. But if y'all can't stop anybody, then guess what?
Mike, I'll agree with you up till one person. I'll agree with all the talent.
The quarterback?
Yep, I'll agree with all the talent. Your quarterback is not good enough anymore. You have to be semi-mobile in this league. Unless you have the best offensive line or one of the tops in football, you got to be able to move around a little bit. Okay? He can't move around at all. He makes Brady look like a track star. He really does. I mean, that's how bad he is in the pocket. He's that bad. There's zero movement. He's a statue. And I'm telling you, you could be seeing 8-10 sack games when we play the Giants this year. Because we're coming hunting. Because your O-line still stinks. Okay? Great. You got a generational type back who, in my opinion, was the best player in this draft. Okay? And probably the best running back we've seen since AP come out. Okay? But you need a hole. Okay? You need a hole. All the greats had at least a hole or a little glimmer of a hole. You brought in all these running backs year after year over the past couple of seasons. All of them had good years wherever they were before you. They come to the Giants, they stick. Well, you're going to blame that on the running back, or you're going to blame on you've never addressed the biggest need of your football team. You can go light up on defense all you want, okay? And Janoris shooting people and shit and his brother and all that shit, okay? But if you cannot protect your quarterback, you're going to stink in this league. That's just factual. There's no other way around it. That's not homer bias. That's football bias. That's all it is. And I love you, Sean, because we're 2 for 4 together, babe. But on this one, we're not going to see eye to eye ever, as long as that's your quarterback. And there's nobody on your roster better than him, so it's not like you have a better option.
It's my team.
That's my quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Don't come hot. I'm coming hot at Giants fans.
I'll tell you
Don't
what,
puff
though.
your chest. You guys flat out freaking underachieved last year, and then you're going to puff chest. Your defense wasn't all banged up. One guy got hurt. And then, you had obviously wide receiver issues. But if you have this great quarterback, shouldn't you overcome all that? This Hall of Famer, the GOAT Slayer. Nick Foles is GOAT Slayer. So that conversation's over with.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I look at their situation at running back, wide receiver, and tight end, and they have all the talent in the world. But their offensive line is horrible. I mean, horrible. And you're absolutely right. Eli might as well be a statue back there.
It's ugly how bad he is.
Like I said, the amount of talent around him, in terms of skill positions, they have as much talent as anybody. But,
When,
if your quarterback's got a second and a half to get rid of the ball.
well,
Yeah, I
also,
mean,
and you got to figure out that your wide receiver's a head case,
it's
and
the
I always
reason Barry
look
Sanders
at that being
retired.
an issue.
Yeah.
It's the reason Barry Sanders retired early, because his offensive line stopped opening holes, and he was getting drilled because he had nowhere to go. And he was the GOAT.
He was the original cut on a dime.
Just never forget. I mean, Michael DeAndre says Machado. Never forget, who your coach was.
Macadont.
And listen, he's going to get the heat for it, because he's essentially the guy, the scapegoat of the whole thing.
Yep.
But, injuries killed him. But listen, even when Odell in the lineup, I've always had this feeling with superstar wide receivers. I always feel like they hurt quarterbacks. I never find them helping quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford got better after Calvin Johnson. He got better as an overall quarterback. He wasn't a one-look pony anymore. He went through his progressions. He looked for other guys. No. Listen,
No.
I'm not saying Calvin is that kind of issue. I'm saying when you have a superstar wide receiver, diva or not, because Calvin, for all intents and purposes, wasn't a diva, right? But diva or not, they're going to get your look, your other look sometimes, where you can just get tunnel vision on a guy. Where I think the really good quarterbacks, and I talk about this with Brady. There's always been different guys throughout.
Right.
Okay? You get a little too comfortable, see you. Right? You know what I mean? It's always been different guys. It's guys that really don't have the ego or getting to the downside of the career like Randy Moss. Not the downside, but later on when you're trying to win and things mean more than just numbers. These are the kind of guys they bring in. Brandon Cooks in for a little bit. Oh, you want to get paid? There you go. See it.
You wanna die?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And I don't think Brandon Cooks is a diva either. I don't think he is. But my point is, you see it fluctuate. I just think them number one options, them studs, sometimes hurt quarterbacks' overall game.
I questioned Matt Stafford just because with Calvin, they never truly built an offense around Matt and Calvin. It was truly just them.
Right.
That's a
You know
good
what I mean?
point.
Like, they never had a second option, only until his last year when Golden
You always
State-
have a second option when you have Calvin Johnson, though.
But they wasn't a real option.
But you always have a second option when you have a stud like that because it takes coverage. So you always have a second option.
Who was it?
Do I got to go fucking Google search right
No,
now?
but I'm
I
saying,
got to dive in and tell you who the option
that's
was.
what I'm saying. Like,
because my point's
that's the
valid.
whole
Don't try to circle the
I'm not
point
saying
and make it
you're entirely
unvalid.
wrong. I'm just saying that's why they stunk so bad because
second
they never,
option's not
they
that
never
good.
built an offense around them two.
I mean, you're running Eric Ebron out there at tight end. He's not that good.
Listen, I understand that, but right now you can't even act like their talent offensively is even close to what it was under them years. And he's he's statistically
They're
better.
more balanced.
His
To your
completion
point, though,
percentage is better.
They're more balanced.
Yeah, I'm not saying like, he didn't put up big numbers with him and Calvin. Of course they're going to. I'm just saying the overall progression of a quarterback. I just think it's easier not to have that guy. Like, I just talk about playing backyard football with your boys. You always get that one boy who always wants the football. Right? Always come back. I'm open. So what do you start doing? That's all you start staring at. And I know they're pros, but come on. They're human beings. So when you
go to the front of the boat, and I'll throw you a dime.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Odell where, great, you're in trouble, you can throw it up, a guy's going to go make a play for you. I understand them facts of it, but I'll just rather have really good wideouts. You know what I mean? Like Alshon, Nelly, you know what I mean? Like guys like that, they're just good wideouts. It doesn't come with all the extra. I don't know. I could be reaching.
No, you're not at all, man. Just real quick, because I'm definitely attuned to this issue. I think when you don't have the big name guy, that's all those chances that you're not forcing it in. Now, a lot of times that big name guy goes up and gets it, but what happens those other times? Interceptions.
Well, you're right. And it's interesting. F-Team said that Stafford once threw for 41 touchdowns 16 of which went to Calvin Johnson, who had the other 25. Well, 25 touchdowns if you're spreading it around between 6 or 7 people. I mean, it's not that much. I mean, you got guys with 3 and 4 touchdowns. You know, your running backs are probably going to get a few out of the backfield. Your tight end's going to get a few. I mean, if you have one guy catching almost a third of your touchdown passes, that's a lot.
That's a ton.
Yeah, it's a ton.
And I think that just goes that, one, Calvin being a stud, and 2, the tunnel vision. Because how many times was he picked off in spots trying to thread a needle in the double coverage or throw it up to him when he gets in trouble instead of, hey, you know what? Let me just get rid of this ball. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just common human nature to say, well, that's my guy. He'll go catch anything. And it's launch it, then you get an interception. Right. Or the sloppiness that comes with some of the things you saw from Stafford earlier on in his career. Right. You know, that you don't see now as much. And I'm not saying, you know, now if you got Calvin, it might be a different story because you're more polished, you're older. You know what I mean? You see the field better, the whole process that comes with it. You know, you always say, oh, you need to get a guy stud. I don't know. I think to me, there's so mmany more important positions than having that elite wide receiver. Let me talk about O-line. I want to have the best O-line in football or a top 5 one. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. Defense line, I want to have a top 5 one. And that's how you build a good football team.
And it's interesting.
Not from the outside in.
It's interesting that you say that, though, because then it brings you back to a whole other question of what makes your wide receiver elite. Because you look at the situation it was here last year. We brought Alshon Jeffrey in here thinking that he was going to be an elite wide receiver. And he's a talented guy. But in the scheme of the offense, when he doesn't get the same volume that he got in Chicago, because they didn't need to give him that same volume, you know, the production drops, and you got these freaking jabrones, it's, you know, CBS Sports and Pro Football Focus that are saying, like, oh, you know, Alshon Jeffrey's on the decline because he only did this, and this last year. But he played the entire season with a torn rotator cuff, and, oh, by the way, his team won the Super Bowl. And you had a potent running attack, a ridiculous tight end, and another wide receiver, Nelson Aguilar, who had a career year. So is he not elite because the numbers dropped, because the volume wasn't there? I wouldn't say that. I think he's an elite talent who's playing within the system where he doesn't have to be force-fed, 110 or 120 passes every year.
Yeah, because most of them are, because you want to get the football in their hands.
That probably had a lot to do with the backdoor handshake deal of, as long as I don't piss green this year,
right,
we got a long-term deal coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he saw the structure around, and he didn't have to take the bombs and the hits that he took in Chicago because he was the only guy.
Well, and I'm sure there was also a part of that, because if we believe everything that we hear, that torn rotator cuff happened in training camp. And I'm sure they probably looked at him, somewhere around week 6 and week 7 and said, you know what? Dude, you've been a freaking warrior so far. That deal that we talked about, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just roll that out there.
Yeah, we're gonna.
My people call your people.
I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere.
I'm gonna put you on hold for a second.
Can you have Alshon come up to the office, please?
But I think that goes to show you what's been built here, right? Taking care of your own, taking care of guys who are going to fight for the guys next to them. I think that this buys into this, the whole culture that's been essentially built over the last 2 years. I mean, that quick.
Well, then you get the whole Brandon Brooks tweet from last month or the month before. People were ripping on him for taking a pay cut, and he's like, why? Because my quarterback who won the Super Bowl was due a raise, and they had to restructure me? He's like, I'm getting my money. Don't you worry about me.
Yeah. That's what I love.
I'm rich, bitch.
Like when people worry about restructures, like, they're getting their money.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Bo's still getting his money. We know about Bobby Bo.
Rob knows about Bobby.
Bobby Bo's still getting his money.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
But, yeah, it just
the gift that keeps on giving.
What is that, July 7th or something like that?
That passed recently.
Yeah,
it just did.
It's like
7th or 9th?
Yeah, I think it's like July 7th or July 9th. Every year, Bobby Bonilla gets a check for $1.2 million from the Mets.
But no, Charles says it. It's a great point, though, Mike. You know what I mean? That, the Alshon situation, that it was like, oh, you know what? Let's just get it. Let's get it done. You've been fighting your tail off.
Yeah.
But, I think there's obviously – there's so much still to go, when you talk about the Eagles, and, you just want to get through training camp. You want to get through all that with just your fingers crossed, guys healthy, and that's all I care about. I just want to wake up every day get through the day and not get the alert.
I gotta,
Somebody's carted off. You don't want the alert of the cart because you know what the cart means.
Well, we know one's coming. Brandon Hicks is getting hurt sometime.
Yeah.
So
Jordan
Hicks.
Yeah.
We know that's coming.
I gotta acknowledge something real quick here on the YouTube, because here's one that we don't really see all that often, where people kind of acknowledge the age. So Hector chimed in and he said, Jeffrey did a good job. Eagles were my team since I was 5. I'm 46 years old. It's a 41-year fan right there chiming in on the on the tube
Love
tonight.
He said our tight ends are going to be better. Absolutely, they absolutely are. Dion says our offense isn't just built on one guy. So those national ladies can suck a middle finger to them. Hey, he's right. He's right. Michael DeAndre, Eagles had Ertz, Alshon, Aguilar, all had 8 or more TDs. Spread the ball, baby. And that just goes to the West Coast offense. That goes to stuff we saw Andy do here, where you spread the ball to everybody. Everybody gets their touches. But that keeps defenses off balance, because who are you going to game plan for? It's easier to game plan for one really good player or one like superstar wideout or whatever the case may be. It's hard to game plan for 4 or 5. It really is. In a 5-6 day window, that's tough to do. Really tough to do.
I actually think Nelson's getting ready to have like a Wes Welker or Julian Edelman kind of season. Like, he's going to go nuts.
With him and Carson, I expect it. I really do. I could see Nelson easily going over 1,000.
I think honestly, like, I know it kind of flies under the radar, but just in terms of like personnel decisions last year, Doug trading Jordan Matthews and moving Nelson to the slot may have been the thing that absolutely put that offense over the top.
I agree, because we talked about it all throughout the year. Or even first year, nobody's going to cover the guy route running.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now I'm going to put you against guys who aren't as good.
Yeah.
And you're elusive, and you're quick, and good luck guys covering you. And I think the second, I don't want your guys' opinion, the second you knew that, okay, this is going to be a good year for Nelly, was the Washington game, week 1.
Oh, 2 minutes out of right out
Yeah,
of the gate.
right out of the jump.
Yeah.
I mean, he catches the ball, goes in for a score, and you're like, that's it. You just need that confidence to go forward. And credit to him, dude. Like, credit to the guy, because it's tough. It's tough. It's tough enough to play at this level, right? And it's even tougher when you got the yips of some sort that come back from that. And that just shows mental toughness, and that shows a winner to me. Got to be able to come back, have a big year the way he did, and rebound and block all the rest out. Mm-hmm. All the rest out.
Or just stay out of the strip clubs, find yourself a hot blonde, and go play.
Well, either or. I mean, once you put your beak in that baby, if you ain't catching everything, then you're an issue, because there's no hope. You don't need like folks don't even need a psychiatrist. Just go find him something similar to Nelson's girl and put that baby on his lap and just spin it.
And just keep him at a strip club. And just go get him a blonde, and we're good.
Go get him a blonde with a rack, and we're golden. Michael DeAndre, now we got Wallace and the new tight end, Gobert. Like, what the fuck are you going to cover? And he's right.
And he ain't wrong.
What are you going to cover? Sorry, I was getting the alert that Jim Kelly gave his speech.
Yeah.
During the, right after the Jim Valvano little speech. So
he's a real good one.
What?
His speech.
Jim Kelly's?
Yeah, apparently it's a real
good one.
Emotional speech. That's
well, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Well, prayers for him right now, because I think he might be going under the knife, or at least something popped up again with the oral cancer.
Close,
I saw Marino and Elway were in attendance, like, to support him, which was cool.
Yeah.
If you like watching the ESPYs.
Yeah, I don't watch the ESPYs. I think that's why the fans are over with us, baby, because they don't watch the ESPYs either.
No.
We'll deal with an alert or two. And I love Jimmy V.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I could listen to that speech.
But they watch the ESPYs on mute until they see Eagles on the screen, and they listen to us.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fair.
You watch for Danica Patrick. Hey, cool. I watch for that, too.
Has there been another athlete who has made more money and gotten more fame for being less successful than Danica Patrick?
No, and not even that great looking, by the way, either. Like,
I got a follower on the gram.
I follow her on the ground. Graham, okay? Let me tell you something. She's
overhyped.
overhyped.
We'll agree to disagree on
that. She's overvalued. I'll put you 20 right now that are better, okay? Because Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not saying they're not better.
Aaron Rodgers can do so much better. Are you kidding me?
Nobody said she was top 20.
I never said she was like the hottest
I
girl in
can
the
find a
world.
500 in about 10 minutes.
You're absolutely
that Trump her.
absolutely right.
I know I am. That's why I'm arguing. And I don't even know what we're yelling about. I don't even know what we're yelling about.
No one said she was top 20. She's just not difficult on the ice.
No, you're right about not difficult on the ice.
I peeped the Instagram. That's
this
it.
is what I'm saying.
And
There's
the
filters.
workout.
There's filters. What I'm saying is Rodgers can do better than that.
Oh, he had better.
I know.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, he really downgraded to me. It's big time downgrade.
Maybe he wants to settle down. He's not looking for
Settle down with a race car
he's
driver and GoDaddy. Like she does commercials saying GoDaddy. When you settle
she
down,
retired.
I know, but you still all around. It'll never go away. The internet never dies, baby.
Relax.
Shit's all around.
Relax.
Is that the combo? The need for speed.
Relax.
I wonder if she drives him around in the race car. That maybe turned him on. I don't know. Maybe that got him 6 to midnight. A little. I love the vibrations. What movie? I love the vibrations. Come on. It's a fucking classic.
Maybe she.
lost.
Maybe
All
she,
time. The wife in Talladega Nights.
I was just about to
yeah,
say.
Yeah, she sits in the
I didn't
booth
wanna
and she's
overstep
like,
on you guys.
she's hammered and she's sipping aggressively. She's kissing the one guy. Remember, she kissed the one guy, and then she's like, "I love the vibrations."
well, hey, you never know. I mean, he's out there tossing dimes to guys in boats on Lake Tahoe. Maybe she's out there driving around the racetrack and
Maybe maybe that's the workout.
he's throwing the ball through the window at 125 miles an hour.
I seen Brent Hundley do that, so maybe he shouldn't do that. I saw Brett do that with his girl. They were doing that. Yeah, the Danica Chrome approved, and you guys can approve them all you want. And he tells me, "Bite my tongue, Thomas. Don't you ever smite Danica." And I'm just saying that as a professional athlete, I feel like I can do a lot better.
Hector said, "This is my first time coming to this channel, but I'm a fan now, and you guys are funny. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thanks,
yeah.
brother.
Get the alerts, brother."
F-Teams is right. Danica's cute, but she's overrated. That's all. She's cute. I'm not saying you ain't going to, turn down the date, but it's a date, Dad. You know what I'm saying? It's a date.
But how could you say she's overrated when we're not putting her in the top 20?
I'm just saying something probably smells. And I'll leave it there. That's just a vibe. That's a vibe I got.
You are putting the ass in class right now.
I really am. I feel like I am. I just feel like there's a lot of wear and tear under the hood of the race car.
Doesn't pass the 4 feet test.
No.
Need to tighten up a rim or
We
two.
got to change the oil.
Kyle says Foles won an ESPY. What did he win? Best performance against a GOAT?
Best performance in the championship.
Oh, yeah. I was right on. Best performance
QB
against a
controversy.
GOAT. There's no QB controversy here in Philadelphia. And anybody who says that should walk in these studios, let me backhand them across the lips, okay? Pick them up, say I'm sorry, and do it again. I mean, it's that simple. Kyle, don't you start, because I'll come flying in here on freaking Saturday at 1 o'clock, fired up, because there's zero quarterback controversy here. Nick Foles is the backup. He knows he's the backup. Now, if you want to have the conversation that you might play him for weeks 1 or 2 to get Carson fully right, if he's not, or the medical staff doesn't feel it, I'm all in on that. I said that from day one. That's why you have Nick Foles here. But he's here.
And that's why you didn't trade him.
He's here to be the best backup in football, okay? That's what he's here to be. Carson Wentz was on pace to win an MVP last year. Nobody was having a better year. Nobody works harder than this kid, all right? Nobody in this league is in the building at freaking 4 a.m. Nobody.
When you're the Super Bowl champions, you spend money on an insurance policy. And that's all that needs to be said.
And it doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Foles can go 16-0. Carson's still starting week 1 of the playoffs. Or week 2 by the time we play.
Could be.
No, you're right. Carson Wentz is the quarterback of this football team,
Yeah.
man. You don't give up assets. You don't trade up to go get him. You don't watch him get better from year 1 to year 2 gigantically. And then all of a sudden, because you broke a curse when curses break in a weird way. So you're going to tell me Dave Roberts is great for the Red Sox? Because he stole a big-time bag, he should start everybody else? Come on. I don't even know who the center fielder was for the Red Sox back then, but I guarantee Dave Roberts wasn't better or shouldn't have started next year there. You know what I'm going with this?
Was it Johnny Damon?
It was Damon, yeah. It was Damon. So has Dave Roberts got more speed than Johnny now at the time? You know what I'm saying?
Damon.
I understand what he did for us. I understand he broke the curse, and it's over. But it ends there. We know what Nick Foles is. He's a really good backup.
You can't find a Super Bowl ring. Who can't keep a hold of his Super Bowl ring?
It's at the Wawa.
Kyle says no QB controversy, but I always take Foles as the best QB in Philly history. But I can't buy into that being the best QB in Philly's history, guys. I can't buy into it just because of the ring. There's a lot of other pieces to this puzzle that want us a ring. And with all due respect to Nick, I'm not taking anything away from him. But let's not act like he put us on his back and carried us there, babe. No. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Now,
He played great football.
You got to take a step back, too, and say, okay, for as instrumental as Nick Foles was in winning that Super Bowl and he played out of his mind, you got to look at what Doug did. I mean, Doug basically took 2 weeks. He took the Oakland game and the Dallas game and then the bye week, so 3 weeks, and basically reinstalled Chip Kelly's offense to suit Nick Foles and completely went full RPO and wound up winning a Super Bowl because everything that was on film for the entire season was Carson and a more traditional style offense. And then the Eagles come out in the playoffs and they're running RPO. Well, yeah, no wonder they won. I mean, it's a genius coaching job. Nick was the driver, and of course he's got to execute.
Yeah.
But let's give Dougie a little bit of credit here, too.
No, there's no question. And the fact...
Wait. Did you just say there's no question on giving Doug Peterson credit?
I gave Doug credit. I gave credit.
I know. I'm just
right after.
Totally busting
No,
your
no,
balls.
and I deserve it.
See the memory yesterday?
I deserve it.
See the memory?
No,
I
I
just leave that there.
I didn't see the memory.
You didn't see the memory?
About Doug saying that his team had as much talent as the Packers.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
and then people crushed me over that one, too.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what do you want him to say? That's what good coaches do.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah. Did you get me?
Yeah, I got
Because
you.
did you get me loud and clear back then when I was right on it? I just want
No,
to clarify
I didn't.
the timetables of being right up until we won a Super Bowl. And you still aren't fully in on the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Robbie, sorry, brother. My bad. First time here. The microphone.
First
No,
time.
what,
My bad. Sorry. First time on air.
where I was
you didn't
going
do
was...
anything.
I'm good now, though.
Where I was going
First time
was...
on air.
First time on air. Next week's 3 years, but first time on air.
Chrome's telling us to look up porn stuff for Danica. I mean, now we're getting out of
Jesus.
control, Michael.
Oh.
Grow up.
You
Hey,
do
can
it.
you at least let me get out of the show first? No, but the fact that you had to remake your offense for your backup quarterback just goes to show that he's not as good as the first guy.
Yeah.
Because your whole offense was designed around Carson and what Carson can do. And then you realized in that Giants game, all right, Nick's not Carson. So I have to make a decision on what to do with my offense because Nick's good. He's just not that good.
Is he the best backup in the league? Yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
is he Carson? No.
No, not even
You know,
close.
Not
but
even
if-
close.
But if you have to change your whole offense around, just to get the best out of your guy, A, great coaching.
Right.
But B, just goes to show that he's not as great. It was like the guys that loved Mike McMahon that would fill in for McNabb.
Right.
Because they
Kevin
dumbed
Cobb.
because they dumbed the offense down to make him look good.
Right.
And in small sample sizes, it's easier to look
Sure.
good. I'm looking at, and this isn't home bias. This is just real. Carson Wentz is generational talent. So, there's never a quarterback controversy. And I don't think Kyle's saying that. I'm not even talking about Kyle. I was just talking about in general because, I've heard that said.
Oh,
It's a
right.
guy-
I heard it.
Mark
That was
Romeo.
it's a number
Mark
2 overall
Romeo
pick in the draft.
reminds me of it every day. What happens when Nick Foles goes 4-0? Carson comes in for week 5.
Yep.
Or week 6 after the bye. It's real simple.
And if that would have happened and the same story played out, then I could see maybe a quarterback controversy, but not a guy that took over the team in what week of last season?
What, Foles?
15.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, 14.
He
14.
took, he took a sailing ship that was already way ahead of the pack into the promised land, taking nothing away from him, just talking as unbiased fan here. So that's why he rode a good ship, but you can't give him the full credit for taking it to the promised land.
Yeah, you ain't giving him the whole key to everything
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you gotta look at, like you said, we talked about it ad nauseum, right? Just going to the locker room with wins, what that does for a culture, what that does for a football team. And it just kept winning games. Well, then you start believing no matter who's where or what's where, that you got confidence everybody around you is going to make a play. Once you start getting to that level, you saw it. There's nobody stopping you. This is why you knew this train wasn't going to be stopped. Did we have a moment where we cried a little bit, right, after the Rams game? Absolutely. But we woke up, put our big boy pants on Monday, and thought about how can we still win this thing. That's what we thought about. And what we knew is, if there's anybody to run the West Coast offense that we talked about, who are we going to trust to do it out there in the league? Well, it's Nick Foles. If I got to go handpick another guy outside of Carson that's not like a starter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I got to go handpick a guy, I'm going to go, you know what? Let me go get Nick here. He's been around it too long. He's going to know it. He's going to know enough of it. And then now everybody starts believing in your quarterback. And Kyle said he balled out in the Giants game. He absolutely did. Now everybody's going to start believing in you, right? Because you had a monster game. Right, and then the Oakland game, everybody wants to panic because it was, below 20 outside.
It was 12 degrees for the Oakland game. It's not really a good barometer.
Derek Carr looked like he never threw a football before. You know what I mean? And you couldn't look at the Cowboys game either because of the conditions. But once you put him in a dome and the conditions were right, he's slung it all around the yard. But again, he's great to have. There's a reason you didn't trade him like these guys said.
I'll take it, circle back to Doug. This is what happens when you have a head coach who's a former quarterback in the league. May not have been a starter, may not have been an elite quarterback, but this is a guy who's a quarterback in the league. And he knows how to get a quarterback ready to play, as opposed to, a guy like Andy, who was a quarterback's coach at one time, but when he played, he was an offensive lineman. And you look at all of the coaches that you would have like on the GOAT tree. Who were the quarterbacks? Peyton was a quarterback, knows how to get quarterbacks ready. I mean, Rob's guy in Dallas, he was a quarterback.
They got to get guys ready.
If
they have any bit of potential.
McVay was I think McVay was a defensive back.
Yeah.
Adam Gase was a quarterback.
It's funny. I like Jason Garrett too. I do.
I think he's a hell of a coach.
I didn't think he's in a terrible situation because of
the puppet show.
Because of what's on the the name on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think he's in a terrible spot. I think he kept his job way longer than he probably should have because of Jerry and loyalty. But I always thought he was in a terrible spot.
Definitely a tough spot, but he's not a good coach.
I listen to the way he talks.
I have my heart.
I don't like anything about the Cowboys, but like if it wasn't Doug Peterson and Jason Garrett, like I could deal with it.
See, I'd go out on a limb here, and I'd say that let's fast forward like 9 months now, or not even 9 months, 7 months. Let's just say this is Garrett's last year in Dallas. Whether he leaves, Jerry fires him, whatever, and the Eagles go on to have a real nice season. Maybe they get to the NFC Championship game. Maybe they go to the Super Bowl. Maybe they repeat, whatever. But you have that huge turnover on the coaching staff again because your team's successful and other teams come start plucking your coaches away. Oh, hey, Jason Garrett, do you want to be the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia?
It's a good spot.
In a heartbeat.
Absolutely, because I just think one, he's had not the best O coordinators too. He's had one throughout his tenure there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't call his own plays. So I just like, and I know people don't like this. If I have an offensive guy that's my head coach, I want him as my offensive coordinator. Like, not just having his blueprint and hands on stuff throughout the week. I want him in-game calling plays. I always felt like this. If my guy's an offensive guy, because his ass is on the line if you ain't scoring and ain't winning. Why would you not want them duties?
Yo, let me ask you something. You want Philly?
I want Philly.
You want Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, run.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Who called that play?
Right?
I think it was the quarterback.
It was the quarterback. But then you want that too.
Yeah.
You want your guys that feel like, hey, man, I feel something out there. Because if your guys aren't having a feel for the game out there, then there's a problem. You know what I mean?
They weren't prepared right.
Exactly. So the preparation that goes into it, seeing things like Nick saw something that he felt like they could expose in that situation, all that ties into it. Like, a good coach, allows Carson game one of his first season, the audible as a line. They have to trust in them and say, you know what? If you see something, go ahead. We're going to put the confidence in you to learn this. We remember when we saw this. Kill. Week 1 against the Browns in the rookie year. Mm-hmm. We all fell over goddamn chairs. And we're like, we got him. He was worth every pick.
Well, yeah, I mean, week 1 of year 1, I was still – that's a shitty head coach.
I'm not talking about the coach. I'm talking about the quarterback.
Well, yeah, because he's already auto-whipping in week 1. We can't even get through a week.
Stop. Now you're ridiculous. Now you're reaching. Reach fast. Reach
there
fast.
You go, reach.
It was absolute reach. You're blaming the quarterback audible, which is a great sign from a rookie quarterback in his first game ever. You're going to blame that on the coach?
Yeah.
Would you stop, dude? Would you stop it? Would you? When are you going to take training wheels off? Never. You're never going to give the trust. You work with a guy all summer, all OTAs, the whole 9, and if you don't trust him, then why is he your guy? If you don't trust him, then you don't let him do it. There's a big difference, Greg. If you don't trust the guy to do it, you don't let him do it. If you're giving him, say, hey, if you see something out there, start to learn to do it.
All right.
Come on.
I would have done a week 1 of rookie year. That's all.
Greg, if you think
That's it. We're over it. Let's go, though.
Then that kind of coach is a loser. That coach
and he
is a
was
loser.
year 1.
No. That coach,
was.
No, that coach is an official all-time loser. And what I'm saying is any coach that won't allow you to do that stuff is a loser. And he's too big for everybody. His ego gets involved in everything too much. I think you got to have the freedom.
Wilder sharing a little something with the family. Joel Embiid squaring up with Ronda Rousey.
I love it.
That's great.
I think you're missing what I'm saying here. That's a good sign. That's a show of confidence in your kid, in your puppy. That's a guy that's going to take you where you wanted to go.
Yeah, we got there.
So when are you ever going to – but my point is, it's the Cleveland Browns, bro. Like,
I
now
know,
you can't audible? You're playing a freaking JV
No, I
team.
get it. I'm just go ahead. We're done.
We're never good, obviously.
Yeah.
I know, I love you, but you're wrong.
Yeah. No, whatever. It was year one. I hated him.
I know you hated him, but my point is we were excited about Carson audible and checking something. And
you're
spin it
right,
all.
but
You spin it all in a goddamn stupid
you
direction.
seen it that, and I saw it the other way. So hey, we're cool.
You obviously didn't see it right.
Yeah, obviously.
I've been telling you this for 2 years. You didn't see it right.
Hey, hold on.
I tripped down Broad Street. You still don't see it right.
Nope.
Marcos Levy says Carson did audible at NDSU a lot too.
Give me some.
That's fine.
Thanks, Marcos. That's great. F Deems, Andy Reid is stubborn and so is Chip. If you want that, then have fun. I want a guy who will listen to his guys and adjust. What are you two doing over there?
I can't read that. I'm not reading that. What Sleets wants me to read. I'm not reading that one.
Oh, my
That's
God.
classic.
Ralphie D, thanks for the Sour Patch Kids.
Thanks,
bro.
Ralphie.
Thanks for the diabetes.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks,
I mean,
Mike.
freaking Mondo bag. If I get through this, we all got issues.
Meanwhile, there's still a whole mellow yellow sitting here on the
that's your
table.
segment
That's
two.
break. Oh, you're going through two?
Well,
Thought we were being, thought we were in the tree.
we are in the tree, but you're
I'm drinking
slacking.
water. Just saying.
Kyle says Foles should have never been traded, but there was a huge blessing. I guess what, to hear?
All I know is
Yeah, okay. But they got, what's his face? They got Mahomes over there. They drafted Mahomes. What are they going to do with 3 quarterbacks? They got to move somebody.
all I know is I came in the studio with 2 drinks. Someone only came in the studio with 1 drink.
Well, there's no Mellow Yellows where I went. And I assumed I was going to be the last one here at 8:25 when I walked in. And then Mike was just sitting all by myself.
I
I was like, oh, okay.
I was doing show research.
You know what I mean? So it was cool. I was like, okay. And then no message to say, yo, I came through with the Mellows. There was no follow-up.
Because I didn't think you questioned me.
You're not a good communicator.
No, I never do.
Why ever question me? Have
But
I
when
ever
you're
failed you yet?
Ubering, I
Have I ever failed you yet?
He's got a point, Tom.
No, you never have failed me yet. besides your stuff about Doug.
The love is
Mike,
back.
He sucks.
It's always there. It's just debatable at times. Michael DeAnderson says, boy, I'm happy to see that Brady jersey gone.
We can bring it back.
Brian Attar says, Jason Garrett is an ass clown, CEO, ass clown worldwide. Jesus. Cowboys fan chiming in. Bob Anderson, hug it out. LOL. All right, boys. We got tons more to talk about. Well, I guess we'll stick the Eagles for the last 9-8 minutes over here on Facebook before we head over, or we just jump into the next thing. We talk a little Nola before we head over. Or you want to save that stuff?
Why don't we hit the Sixers stuff real quick? Because that we could get through that pretty quickly.
All right, and if it runs over to when we head over to the site and YouTube, then it runs over there.
Yeah.
No worries. State of the Sixers. And
big news came out a couple days ago that they tried to lure Daryl Morey away from the Rockets. So they went back. I was going to say they went back to the Hickey tree.
Or they went to the root.
They
went
to the root of the Hickey tree.
Love tree talk.
The trunk.
They went to the Hickey tree and they tried to get Daryl Morey, and I don't know whether he shot him down or Houston wouldn't give the Sixers permission to talk to him. I don't know what the deal was, but they took a big shot.
We got the fans chiming in.
All
Marshall
right.
Smith said talk about the Eagles, and then we got a bunch of Eagles comments just roll in. So
Roll
we're
it.
here for you. We're not you know what I mean? No egos here, babe.
See, here's a lesson. Don't stop commenting, because if you stop commenting,
Then
you
we're
change the
going back
subject.
to the Sixers.
Lesson.
A bit of everything says no Manny, no LeBron, no Leonard. Yep, that's
Okay.
fine. I think it's. I'm not as worried about the other two as I was with Machado. I was more
We're good.
Machado
We're
up.
still good.
Marcus Levy, are you guys worried about the injuries of Jernigan, Hicks, Jeffrey, Peters? Jeffrey, no.
I'm going to say Jeffrey, no. Peters, no. Jernigan, yes. Hicks, jury's out.
Yeah.
Well, Hicks, you already know is injured.
Yeah.
Like that's just a given. Put him in IR right now because he's never going to be healthy. And that's where I was.
Well, that goes back to his college days and
Yeah,
high school
and
days.
that's
Like
where,
that's not something new. With him.
That's where that love fest with Reuben Foster last year was just because all the stuff off the field. Obviously, and now Derek Barnett is who he is. It was just because you knew Hicks was an injury waiting to happen.
But it's going to turn into a blessing in disguise, because what's going to happen is when he hits his walk year, nobody's going to give him big money because he can't ever stay on the field.
Yeah.
So he's going to wind up coming back to the Eagles for a big fat hometown discount because they're going to be the only ones that trust him enough to sign him.
No, I agree, though. Jeffrey, no. Peters, no, because, A, we get our Hall of Famer back.
Right.
But then V did show that in a backup role, I don't think he's just starting left tackle for a whole season.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, jury's out.
But in a backup role, a fill-in role, as he showed last year, he developed into a serviceable replacement for our Hall of Famer. And then, Jernigan does hurt because it's his back.
But it doesn't.
That's what worries me.
That injury doesn't worry me for the football team as much as it worries me for the player because of Haloti Ngata.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You still have the best D tackle or the second best D tackle in football, wherever you want to rank.
Right.
Donald, Cox, doesn't matter to me. 1A, 1B,
flip a coin,
whatever, Sunday, whoever wants to come play better. But, Cox and Haloti's still a big-time problem up front.
Yeah.
Haloti's older. You want the depth there. You want Jernigan.
Right.
But
And
again, with
Barnett, we forgot about or Bennett.
Bennett.
Forgot about Bennett. He's an inside
he
guy.
does play inside sometimes.
Yeah, that's the allure of Bennett is he can play.
He can play
all
both.
4 positions.
Yeah, and that's huge. And I think that allows you to be cautious with Jernigan.
Sure.
Again, to not have to rush a player back. And it just shows you how – man, I mean, Howie Roseman and Joe Douglas, who we give a ton of credit, more than probably most people do.
Right.
Man, do they have their fingerprints all over this. This is so Joe Douglas, this football team, over since he got here. I mean, his handprints are on everything. And I love Howie, and we should love Howie. I'm not taking anything away from Howie. But just remember, as soon as Joe walked in the door, you saw us get deep. Yep.
Everything changed. Like, and you're right. We're gonna praise Howie because he's the head man. But everybody knows when he was here before, we never got it done.
No, but he was all – to his credit, though, he was smart enough to know, I can't do this by myself. I got to go out and find a guy.
And that's what made the Andy and Joe banner back in the day.
It worked so well.
That worked so well. Mm-hmm. Joe was the guy. Andy was the Joe Douglas.
Yeah, Joe was the money guy.
Joe was the money guy. And, all right, Sheldon Brown, let's lock him up early for less.
Right.
And I think Howie still wants – I mean, Howie's always wanted to be a part of football stuff. And I'm not saying he isn't because he still is.
I think he's getting better at it too.
But yeah, I think he's learned to do both well. But it helps when you have a football guy right next to you. You know what I mean? That's been doing it, won Super Bowl somewhere else.
It's going to be interesting because Joe Douglas is probably going to be.
Hold on, Marshall said the Philly special didn't win Best Play. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm also watching the ESPYs too. We want to know who did win. Marshall Smith, who did win Best Play then? If it wasn't Philly special,
That's interesting.
Curious to know which one. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. Joe Douglas is either going to have to get promoted and then, Howie take a lateral move just for show, or Joe's going to get a job elsewhere as a full-fledged GM.
Well, but here's the thing, though.
And then the where we could really start judging Howie's attrition, too, or his builds of a football guy is what he does when Joe's not by his side.
Well, how about this?
You know what I mean?
Does Joe ever need to leave when you can just give him a suitcase?
Well,
here's the thing.
But I think you know as well as anybody, ego plays a role in it too.
I understand,
and if you're a
so
director
does
of player
dollars.
personnel, is one thing. If you're a GM, it's just
Right, but here's
I know. I get what you're saying. I
right, but
completely agree there.
here's but the thing is, they have that upward mobility where they could actually promote Howie to, executive vice president of player personnel and promote Joe Douglas to GM without there being anybody else that they need to bump out.
right.
True.
And then if they need to take it even a step further, they could take the whole Don Smolensky role and say, okay, Don's the president of non-football operations. Howie becomes president of football operations, and, Joe Douglas moves up to, VP GM, whatever the case may be. Jeff was real smart when he fired Chip, brought Howie back into the fold, gave Don Smolensky a little more responsibility. They brought Joe in. Jeffrey was real smart on how he structured the corporate side of things so that he could have some upward mobility for these guys and be able to pay them without losing other parts that are integral to the organization.
No, you're right.
And that was some deep shit right there.
That is some deep shit. I like that possibility's there, and nothing changes.
That's business Mike talking right
Hey,
now.
Mike. Hey, Mike, good to have you. I'm Tom. I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last
I
night.
just had to Google because I forgot the name on top of my head. I just don't want to see what's going to happen in Baltimore, like when Ozzie Newsome leaves.
Right.
And you have like a football guy in charge, and then all of a sudden he's gone, and then what does that do for what you used to do? Because Baltimore,
they went to shit after Joe.
You went to shit after Joe left.
Yeah, I know.
And then Ozzie came in and kind of started to rebuild that.
Yeah.
And you could see this team is built like the old Baltimore Ravens teams.
No, it is. Rob Hill, to the poll question, he's going Derek Barnett. I think there's going to be a loss on this football team that nobody's talking about. And I understand people think that's been addressed. But Michael Kendricks is a loss. And anybody out there that wants to overlook it and act like it doesn't matter, and because of Jordan Hicks, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. I mean, the money to me wasn't a big deal this year. That's not an issue to me. You're still trying to win football games. You're not deep enough at that position to just go, hey, you know what? We're good. You know what I mean? We're going to cut you. We're not going to move you for nothing. We're just going to cut your ass. To me, that does. I didn't. And this is just weird to me because he asked to be traded last year, and Howard's response is, we don't get rid of,
young good talent.
So he stayed on the field all year for the most part. Had a really good season. Okay, surprised a lot of people who were really down on him.
Yeah. Was
healthy the majority. You won a Super Bowl, but now you're not good and young anymore? That move is all money to me, and I don't like that move.
And I hear what you're saying. The only thing I'm going to say to that is let training camp play out and see how the dominoes fall, because I think part of that was re-signing Nigel, because they had to really kind of up the ante for Nigel. This kid that they're bringing in from Denver, apparently Denver was, in love with this kid, ready to bump him up into a starting role, just a hidden gem that, supposedly everyone, every one of the NFL writers, everyone on the network, everyone thinks that, this is just going to be a steal for the Eagles. Obviously they still have Hicks in place, but let's see how all the dominoes fall, because at some point towards the end of training camp, there's going to be another team that cuts a linebacker, and the Eagles are probably going to jump all over that. They need the financial flexibility to be able to do that, though. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to see, in terms of the linebacker position, how do all the dominoes fall?
No, listen, I'm on an
island.
Agree. I'm on an island, and I understand
you're not on an island.
To a point.
I'm with you. But I also look at this. Has he signed anywhere?
Cleveland.
Did he go to Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was still out there.
Well,
because obviously I'm not in football mode.
Hold on. Did he sign anywhere? He signed in Cleveland. Yeah, like I said, did he sign anywhere?
I didn't get that.
Because I was going to say.
Don't you talk about my road dog baker like that.
Football purgatory.
If he didn't sign anywhere, then that kind of goes to the show that obviously, while we think it was the wrong move, if he's still out there in free agent
Cleveland
world,
jumped on it quick.
Yeah, okay.
They really did.
I forgot about that.
And then they got a legit GM in house now.
Yep.
It's not the old Cleveland Browns in terms of who's.
You're
It's not Sasha, Mr. Analytics, running football player guys. Or going to look at a freaking spreadsheet to tell you this guy can play football or not. I mean, this isn't Moneyball anymore that the Cleveland Browns were trying to do. The Cleveland Browns wanted to be Moneyball. They wanted to accumulate 1 million draft picks and not know how to pick anybody, though. Right? Now you bring in a legit GM, and I think you can tell by this draft, I think you can tell by free agency that it's not a joke anymore. They're going to try to win football games, and they're going to try to do it quick. Yep. There's a reason they jumped on Jarvis Landry when they had an opportunity to go get him, and there's a reason when Michael Kendricks was released that I said, you know what? Let's go get a guy who just won football games somewhere else.
Yeah. Robbie, can you look something up real quick? F. Deems asked, is Navarro Bowman still available? And I love that name.
I heard that name come up yesterday in Birds.
I love
Dion
that name.
Dion yesterday, me and Dion went on it with Birds.
I think he is.
And I think he is because that's the name I love. I wanted him last year.
Yeah,
when he got released
as did
mid-year.
I, yeah.
I wanted him forever.
Yeah.
I wanted him when he was in his prime with San Fran, and he was the best middle linebacker in football that nobody talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because the other guy, Patrick
Willis,
Wilson, is right next to him.
Which is good. Which is good. They were just crazy. Oh,
they were
so
scary.
Good. They were so good. Listen, me and you could play quarterback for them teams, and we're winning football games. And that's what nobody understands. This isn't a shot at Cap. So everybody calm down.
Still available?
I'm just saying that any one of us could have. Right?
So he's still a free agent, too.
And maybe that's.
Line it up.
Oh, let's go. Where do we got to drive to? Where do we got to go?
He's also selling his San Jose home for $4.253 million.
Who's out?
Oh,
he's out.
Discount.
He put the freaking. Wait. San Jose.
It's next to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't didn't move. He didn't go. He didn't move down.
We didn't have to.
You only went to
No,
Oakland.
I know that, but he didn't put. He just put it up. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you. I wasn't sure.
But if he's,
I only know he when we went to Oakland.
he's
I
a
got
Penn
that.
State guy, so if he has like a mansion up in like Mill Hall or something like that, next to the prison, I'll drive up and pick him up. It's only 3 hours.
Listen, he's one of my favorite linebackers in football. He's a dog.
He's just a beast.
He's a leader. He's a guy who's played and been in big games. I wouldn't even wait. You understand me? Like, I don't even wait. I don't even wait. I want him in as quick as possible. I want him to learn the defense as quick as possible if that's the direction I'm going.
Right.
I don't even wait for nothing. Whoever fucking Gary is, or Jerry, or whatever the freak he's pronounced the name, bye, Felicia.
Nate
okay?
Gary.
Okay, and whoever we're crowning from Denver, see you, girl. You know, I know that guy's not going because you just went and got him. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, these other guys, this is us as Philadelphia fans, and I love us, but we fall in love. We fall in love on, Broncos really didn't want to let him go. Well, they would have kept him then. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
They would have signed him.
That's an Eagles beat writer spinning that one for you, right? Or Jerry, like, it's the guy we drafted. He's been groomed for this position. Probably gonna stink. Okay, and it's not everybody, but these no-name guys all of a sudden become folk heroes because they're the only name left. And I'm not saying it's not to do with Kendricks. It has to do with everything. With NaVar Bowman's out there, like Mo Kendrick can't hold NaVar Bowman's jock strap. So let's be clear about that. I make the move. I go get him ASAP. And if it takes one of these guys not being on my team, so be it.
Well,
But whatever.
Go back to what Mark Eckel told us 2 years ago. Some guys are practice field warriors, and they will practice like you would not believe. And when the lights come on, they absolutely suck. And then there's other guys that don't even show up on practice film, and when the lights come on, bang.
It's funny how that works. It really is.
5 o'clock hitters versus 7 o'clock hitters.
It's true. I mean,
right.
BP's easy. Ask Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'd be, oh, yeah, he crushed the ball. Dude, it's freaking batting practice.
And you know,
They're able to hammer the baseball.
The distance from those pitches, that's actually a lot harder for them to hit home runs than it would be regular BP.
Yeah, don't let me
because
get-
they were so close. It would be like
You
doing
think he
front
hasn't
toss.
done that with his old man about 10,000
I'm
times in
saying
his
the
life?
distance and close is there's not enough juice to get you.
I got you.
You know what I mean? It was odd to me that they were so close.
That's why his
together.
dad was throwing peas.
Oh yeah.
They cheated too.
He did cheat.
Who cares? He won.
No, FT says, I like Jerry, and I'll go to bat for him. Listen, I'm not saying I have a problem with him.
I don't even know Jerry.
I don't even know him
I don't even know him to like him or not.
because I'm not there yet in my football mindset. But I'll tell you one thing.
Let's just call him Nate. That's his name.
Okay, hey, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Hey Nate.
Hey, Nate. You ever hear of a man named Navarro?
Is this like
I'm
Jerry
gonna need
from
you to
Parks
pack.
and Rec?
I'm gonna need you to pack your. I'm gonna need you to pack your.
So,
things.
so Nate.
Right, that's the conversation. Hey, Nate, you ever hear of a guy named Navarro?
Nate
I'm
was-
gonna need you to go pack your
Okay.
bags.
It's gonna be.
Go get your stuff.
Nate was a strong safety at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Navarro was an All-American linebacker at Penn State. Yeah.
Nate. Yeah, coach, you're gonna see.
Coach, you
bring
bring
your
your playbook. Little hard knocks.
And FD says I also think about Hicks getting hurt and Bowman and Bradham as your linebacker. Yeah, well,
I'll go to war with.
I'll
those
go to
two.
war with that one too. That's probably better. That's probably better than that might be better than
a
Hicks
Florida
and
State
Nigel.
linebacker and a Penn State linebacker.
Good,
There's pretty good
known for
genes
that.
there.
They're pretty known for that.
It's good pedigree.
Yeah.
Renee Bow, what's up, Renee? Says, I want Hicks and Bradham. And then FD was talking about he's a converted safety, good in coverage. And then Renee goes, I don't know about this Jerry dude either. But that's the point. Like, listen, he might be good because he can cover. Can you tackle, babe? Can you play the linebacker position at this level? It's one thing to be able to cover.
If he played defense at Nebraska, he probably can't tackle.
Probably not.
Because that defense was terrible.
Probably not. Then we're going to go to break here. But Marshall Smith, same thing with Sidney Jones. Everyone said he's going to be a beast and will be a starter. We've seen him play in one game. Yeah, it's tough. Like, we're going off of pedigree because it's there. He was going to be a top 15 pick before the injury in that draft. So we know the talent's there. But, dude, there's another thing taking it to the next level with you. And I'm not saying I think he's going to be a stud, but it's just assumption. You know what I mean? The coach there can assume he's going to be a stud too. But like you said, until you see a guy on a football field and turn the lights on Thursday night, home opener, you don't know with some younger guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you don't know
forget
what
about it.
You don't know what a Nate Jerry. That's what they're going to tell you in the streets. They're going to tell you to forget about it. And Hector says our safeties and corners are great. They're hungry. Oh, they are. That's why Jalen Mills will always be a number one corner to me because he'll come up and stick you in the mouth like most cornerbacks don't do, hence, a.k.a. Marcus Peters.
You know who's on the hot seat this year, though? Rodney. If Rodney doesn't play this year, I mean, not that I had a problem with him last year.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But there was holes.
There was holes.
There was holes.
Absolutely. And listen, I'll give a little pass on that because you're new to a system too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of the coverage breakdowns you saw from him, some of them are him just probably not being as comfortable with the system as he can be. Now, if we don't see him right from Jump Street this year, locking dudes down, Sydney, you good over there? How's that? Gilly feel good? Somebody rub that real quick. Let's get him out there.
Hey, Gary, go rub that.
Yes.
Yeah, be the fluffer over there.
You're like, hey, can we get Sydney over here in jail, and you're gonna go play back there.
Feels so good.
What is Deion saying, Jerry? Jerry's better than Casey Matthews. LOL. We get the Matthews kid that can't play. Ain't that a bitch? Shake my head, man. Couldn't tackle me or you, Deion. I mean, you hand the ball to me or you. We're stiff arming him.
Did have great hair though.
2 words.
Oh, it runs in the family.
2 words. Jeremy Giambi. 2 more words. Mike Maddox.
Let's try to have a brother.
2 more words. He was safe. 3 words.
Oh,
We always get the wrong brother.
There we go. He was
safe.
All right, fam, listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to head over to YouTube,
Cheaters
over to
box.
the site. So everybody on Twitter, over on Facebook, head over to YouTube with us. All right, you can still comment in on over there or head to the site. Either one, you can watch us live. We got a ton more to talk about. We'll continue Eagles talk. For anybody who wants to talk Birds, we got to talk about Aaron Nola's NL All-Star Day debut, Hoskins' home run derby performance, obviously Machado to the Dodgers, and we got to talk to the state of the Sixers as well. All that coming up on the other side. Tom,
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio, I think Gibson Mayer LLC. Sponsor every Wednesday night. Been here for 3 years. Our certified public accountant.
Make 'em yours.
Find it on the web. GibsonMayer.com. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos, and the family out there tuning in. We started the show, a little Birds talk, about a week away from the beginning of camp, which is exciting time of year, always is, and especially when you're, reigning Super Bowl champions.
Oh, yeah.
Brings a little extra to it. We're the chance, and we've never said in our lifetime going into a season that, hey, we're the team to beat.
I think that's why I'm not in, Eagles mode, because it's just, this year doesn't matter.
Are you still basking?
Yeah, after last year, it's just
too.
Whatever. Whatever.
Every other year, I'd be I'd be ready to roll right now.
Especially
like
around
Birds,
this time.
so aggressively ready
at
to
the same
roll.
time, you got the Phillies in first.
Talk. Yeah, Phillies in first. Sixers, had a great season, even though morons out there want to think otherwise or think they're going to regress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to smack them in the lip, too. But, that's the story for a little later on in the show. None of us. There's been a lot of that throughout the table tonight. I'm not going to lie.
The Birds need to do is they need to have, a montage of the Muhammad Ali and John Cena, the champ is here, and play that in the link, before the game opening night.
Every
I
game.
like that.
Yeah. Just, the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
I fucking love it. I love it. Hector wanted to know, are we coming back? And then,
yeah, dude.
And then we love the fam out there because the fam knows how we operate.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows us better than the family does.
Sure.
They know our secrets about everything. So a bit of everything. See that tie-in, babe? The kid's back in the saddle.
Oh, yeah,
that felt really good. I didn't even do it on purpose. They'll be back. They always do do this. It's like a 10, 15-minute break. I mean, the people know. The people know. You can't hide. Listen, you can't lie to your family. You can lie to a lot of freaking people out there.
When you get straight 1 hour and 15-minute talk, though, before that 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Peace.
The
Real
dial
talk.
and other bullshit can be we're commercial free for this hour. And they read 49 reads. They take callers that are dopes half the time that ruin what Sports Talk is. See, we can censor whatever you write to us. We don't. Yeah. We read everything.
Yeah.
But if you're really that much of a dope, we just probably won't read your shit. Or it's going to get verbally abusive.
See, that's the thing for Hector. We just take all of our commercials over an hour and 15-minute span and just cram it into one spot.
Take a little breather, and we're back.
Some of us stretch. Some of us catch a smoke. Some of us adjust their underwear.
A little
it
bit
is
of
what it
everything.
is.
Some of us grab their charger.
Bit of everything. Says he truly believes the Eagles are going to repeat, and I completely and 100% agree with him.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I
It's-
disagree.
Like I said, whatever.
You still got hungry dogs.
It is the hardest thing to do in sports, but you know what? I don't necessarily. I'm not. I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, it's how often do you have a Super Bowl champion who then comes back and all the experts will say they've improved. They're still the best team in the league, and they're better than they were last year.
And most of that's because of 11.
Yeah.
And that's not even including the great additions of Michael Bennett. You know, not a little long in the tooth, but still a big time, still a good addition. You know, you just talk about
Wallace, yeah.
Mike Wallace offensively. And then, like they said, the biggest key is the MVP of all football, essentially,
Yep.
is back. And from the looks of things, strong as shit. You know, strong as a fucking ox, like he always is.
Hitting a thriller dance at his wedding.
Yeah, just he's aggressive. But he's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best. I love him. I love him. People don't. People like Kyle love Foles more. That's for a different day, boys. All right. That's for a different day. Our poll question, if you're just tuning in, most people aren't just tuning in, but if
Right.
you are, which second-year player will
If
take
you
the
are,
biggest
where the hell
step
were you?
forward? Yeah, for the Eagles in 2018. That's why you subscribe.
Where you been, fan?
That's why you subscribe. You get your alerts on, and you don't got to miss it. Which player, biggest jump from year 1 to year 2? Derek Burnett, Corey Clement, Sidney Jones, Mac Hollins, somebody else. You can still let us know. All platforms.
I do love me some Mac Hollins, though, man.
So
I'm
what do you
telling
boys want to jump into? A little Nola?
Oh, yeah. I think we got to talk about that a little bit.
A little wiffle ball?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I mean, we talked about it before the year that I thought he was going to be a top 5 to 10 pitcher in baseball. I thought he had the capabilities. I know you talked about, you know, Friday nights at LSU. You know, guys just don't throw there all the time. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody. You know, he made adjustments, which were huge, that we talked about. And you see it. He's your dominant ace. He's your guy when a losing streak is going on. You want to give him the baseball to end it. You know what I mean? You want to go end this for us. We're in a little bit of, you know, we lost 3 in a row. Go get this one.
I said 20 wins, and I know a lot of people ripped on me for that. But I'll tell you what, he's 12-3 right now. I think out of all of his losses and no decisions, 2 of them were his fault. The rest of them, team just didn't score for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes out Saturday in Miami, gives up 2 in the first, and completely shuts him down the rest of the way.
One hits the rest of the way.
And the Phillies just don't even, you know, they don't even put a run on the board for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his fault, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think anybody ever questioned your top 5, top 10 thing. I just don't think anyone thought the jump was coming as quickly as it did this year,
or as big as it was.
as big as it was, because
It went back to last
he's
year,
a
though.
different pitcher than he was even at the end of last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's the confidence thing, as you talk about. You know, it's knowing that I have the stuff. It's knowing that when I need to, I can still blow it by you.
Oh, he's like a boss out there.
And
right
then
now.
break your knees too. You know, I don't think anyone questioned it. I just think the people who may have had him in the 15 to 20 range, or 20, in the lower, half of that,
right,
probably just didn't see this jump coming where he was.
Right.
But he's been downright unhittable outside the first inning,
Well,
because it seems like
Well,
that
isn't
first
that with
inning,
all aces and all the
first
upper echelon type pitchers? If you don't get them early, you ain't getting them
You
at
ain't
all.
getting them at all.
I mean, Doc was known for that. I mean, nobody that I saw really watching baseball and watching aces go. If you did not get Roy Halladay early in that first inning, you weren't hitting them. And that was just one example of a guy that was like that.
He's ridiculous. His ERA in the first inning is 4.74, and after that, it's under 2.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, that was like the DeGrom game the other night. Mm-hmm. Going back to that, you saw what they did early. It was like he threw like 7 pitches through 2 innings because they were trying to get to him early in the count and early in the game. And then obviously they drug him on later in the game once they settled in. It was like, all right, this is going to be a ball game now because he's throwing peas, and then Vinny was matching him with peas.
Right.
But DeGrom's in that same echelon of these just young guys that are just, blossoming before everybody. And Nola was a legit option to start this game.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to be Scherzer just because it was in Nats Park.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
it. And Scherzer's every bit of what Max Scherzer is.
Oh, yeah, he's dominant. No question in
But
that.
he was a legitimate option up there for, hey, who's going to start this game?
Well, we talked about it at the end of last year, going into this year when we were going in, that nobody had better numbers over like a 12-game stretch than Aaron Nola. The only other guy was Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about, one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the game, and your numbers at the end of last year through a stretch were matching them type of numbers.
Yeah.
So you knew it was there. You knew it. So it was just like, hey, man, if he's any bit of that guy he was at the end of last year and gets a little bit better, why isn't he a top 5, top 10 arm in baseball?
Well,
and he's proven to be so far.
No,
now
you're
can you
absolutely
finish?
right.
Yeah.
It's not how you start sometimes, how you finish.
What I actually thought was great about his appearance, though, was he faced 4 hitters, and the 4 hitters that he faced was like a microcosm of his whole season, because he goes out and he's got Salvador Perez up there, and he winds up striking him out on like an 82-mile-an-hour wiffle ball. And he comes back and he's got Mookie Betts, and he blows Mookie away with 96 at the letters, winds up giving up a hit to Altuve, and it was the first hit that Altuve's ever gotten in an All-Star game. And then he comes back and it's like, okay, well, here we go. We got Nola against Mike Trout, like hometown against hometown. And first pitch, 96 on the hands, just boom, little weak pop-up to first base. And, like, that's Aaron Nola. That's what you get. 2 strikeouts at a pop-up, and bada bing, away we go.
His shit's deceptive, too. Like, his wind-up is, I think he hides the ball well.
It's jerky.
Yeah, it's got a little
Hitch,
something in it where just I think you mess up timing. And then when you can go, mid-90 or 92, 95, whatever it is, 92, 93 usually, and then you can break off stuff 82 and throw for strikes, you're almost unhittable because it's the timing aspect.
Yep.
Like you always talk about, the real good pitchers, they have a 10, 15-mile difference from their fastball to their all-speed stuff. If you're rolling them like a 5 to 8 range, that's tough. Guys are going to hit you more. If everything's hard.
You're hittable.
Yeah, hard. You can locate like the best of them, and at times it's tougher. I like a guy that has that kind of all-speed stuff, and not only all-speed stuff, great all-speed stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because it was like you and Greg were talking about it before we went on the air tonight about how, he knew he was only going 1 inning, and the combination of only having to go 1 inning with all the adrenaline from the All-Star game. I mean, he went out there, and you could tell just by the way he was winding up, like every piece of energy he had just basically went like hips, butt, shoulders, boom. Just he was just like everything was just like so there was so much intensity with what he was doing. And then it was like when he walked off after the inning, it was just like, okay, that's done.
Quiet guy.
That was fun.
But a quiet guy.
It was
but
good. Time to go fishing.
A real quiet guy too, quiet kid. But
Yeah.
that.
He was excited.
This
He was
opportunity,
ramped up.
the adrenaline was going, and that's
for
where you
sure.
see, that's what you're talking about. That's where you see the 96 come out. Like, where'd that come from?
Hello.
You had that.
One thing I picked up off him from watching him in the All-Star game is whenever you shorten that time from when the batter first sees the ball to where it's up on him is key. And with that deceptive movement that you were talking about, he shrinks that time to where the batter's first seeing that ball, and then it's up in their zone.
I just feel, it does get on guys quick. I agree. I mean, everything that to me, even his all-speed stuff, is like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like what? That came in slow but quick. It is a little weird. Everything's a little weird.
And I'll tell you what, it's certainly not going to hurt him one bit sharing the dugout with Scherzer and DeGrom and some of those other guys.
Yep.
We talk about Derek Barnett.
on the National League
sharing
team,
it with real good players.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right on there. And,
'Cause, I mean,
and having Jake Arrieta in your locker room too.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
it
the
was-
work ethic that Jake's put in to make himself. Because Jake wasn't the Friday night guy at LSU.
Yeah.
So Jake had to make himself into a Cy Young caliber pitcher by just working his tail off. Aaron already worked his tail off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you combine him with a guy that's all he knows to do is work.
Yeah.
It's a great recipe. It really is. And somebody said it's a great 1-2 punch. I think it was everything. Was it that? Yeah, everything of everything. I love the 1-2 punch of Nola Arrieta. We just need one more arm. And Ralphie D comes in talking about, maybe J.A. Happ, maybe Cole Hamels or some names.
Go home, Crum.
That are great names.
No, but getting back to sharing a dugout with, pros and the best of the best. J.D. Martinez talked about it. I mean, J.D. Martinez is on fire. One of the scariest hitters right now. But even he talks about talking hitting with the different types of guys. I heard Judge mention talking hitting with the guys like Trout. Guys that can do both things at a high level, hit for a high average, still hit for power. And you're absolutely right. I think they use this weekend these top guys just to. Hey, let me pick your brain a little bit. Let me see. Let me see what I can do.
We've talked about it on this show before when we were talking about J.D. Martinez and the fact that he didn't become the player he was until he started playing with Miggy.
Oh, that's a good guy to pick.
Yeah, a little bit.
I asked my kids, like, out of all the videos I send them, which are a ton of pros talking hitting, the guys that I trust to talk hitting to send to them. Everyone, I ask them which one.
So there's no Donaldson Elevate and Celebrate videos going to your kids. Huh?
No, they would be deleted, or the thread as all would be deleted. I say which one sat with you the best, and to them in, everyone says Miggy, and you're talking about a guy who doesn't speak English that well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everything he talked about was an easy translation to all these kids.
Yeah.
Now I was talking about we're doing the Soto drill now, consistently. I do it with Sean all the time now. Like when we do lessons, I'll go give him about 10, 15 front toss, and I'll come back and we're doing knob drill. We'll do 5 of them. Boom, back to the front toss. Come back, 5 more knob drill. Dude, the kid hits it every time. Like no matter where it is, it's boom, knob. No matter where it is, inside, boom, knob. No matter where it is, you're just taking the knob to it. If anything, it's great hand-eye coordination.
Right.
So that, that's just talking off the subject a little bit, but just baseball.
Absolutely.
I feel like that.
It's what we do. We talk baseball.
I feel like it'll work for him over time.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's already doing it, I'm like, dude, that's not even okay. Like I did it with Fish, and Fish did good at it. Still mystical, but did really good for his first time doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, for another kid to hit it every time, is like, calm down.
Well, I go back.
Calm down, dude. You're showing everybody up. Like nobody likes that guy.
I always go back to that Pete Rose video with A-Rod, Frank Thomas. It's as simple as just move your placement. You get so nuts, and some of these guys do it too. Like Mike Trout said it in that A-Rod video. My swing's been my swing since I was 11. So what are guys trying to do to me now? They're trying to bust me up. So what do? I start with the high tee, and I try and get down on it. Or if I'm doing front toss, he said he has the toss come high, and he literally tries to tomahawk it just to get the motion to get on top of a ball.
Get on top of the ball.
A to B. We talked about it.
It's just so simple, but
But listen. Parents, kids overcomplicate a thing it's already hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like
round ball, round bat. Good luck.
Make it as simple. And when I try to explain this to kids, listen, I'm telling you as an older guy, and I hate when people do that to me, to tell you, man, I wish I would have known this. But I really wish I would have known a lot more of this stuff that I'm telling you right now.
I would tell my kids and their parents all the time.
Foot down, hands back, let's go. Foot down, hands back, let's go.
When you overcompensate, you overcomplicate.
Yeah, exactly. Your parents get closer to the plate, do this. Calm down, because you talk about
go swing the bat.
Just adjustments, in the box.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I got to slide back a little bit. I got to move up a little bit. Oh, I'm struggling. Let me just move a foot back, move a foot up, whatever the case may be. Whatever your timing is in that situation. But the high T thing is so important. And listen, it's simple if you just look at all the greats are telling you the same thing. So why a huge leg kick? Why a slide step? Whatever you got, why have your hands here to then get them up here? Start with them here. You talk about behind the ear. Yeah, I want your hands here. To me, if I can get more guys' hands here, because I know that path is going to be what? More likely. More likely I'm going to be able to get down through it a little bit better than if my hands are here. Not saying that works for kid. I'm not going to change it. If you're hitting BBs, then go hit BBs.
Right.
But something new, somebody new, that's what you're going to try to get them to do a little bit. It's common sense.
Yeah.
But it's overcomplicated because there's so much that goes into it that it's almost like you're studying for a goddamn test. You're not.
And you're saturated
back, foot down, let's
videos
go.
of Donaldson saying,
elevate and celebrate.
Elevate and celebrate.
Well, then you got the suction cup tees that everybody's you hit the bottom half of the baseball. You hear Dad say, hit the bottom half of the baseball. That's not true because that's only got one place to go, and that's up.
You hit the ball squarely. You don't hit the bottom half of the baseball.
Like Sweep said when he was talking to, I think it was Griffey, older Griffey, when he was around that conversation, and they said, man.
Good Lord.
And
Can you only imagine that conversation?
But I took one thing I guess he took out of it big that, he told us that I thought was huge was that man, if you square ball up hard, you're never late.
If you barrel base, that blew my mind.
I have a little kid come in and talk about, well, my dad says I got to pull the ball more. And I said, I'm never going to tell you your dad's wrong, But
That's wrong.
But I don't say that. I just say, listen, no matter where you hit it, if you square it up and hit it hard, you're not late. That's a good swing, and that's how you gotta look at it. So don't worry about it. Just hit a ball hard. That's it. Square it up, hit it hard, let it go.
There you go.
Don't worry about all the rest. But
Sweeps, he knows a little bit about hitting.
a little
bit.
A little bit. But no, I mean we're all in agreement with Nola.
Yeah.
You know, he's special. I'm really looking forward to the second half. You know, I know we're going to talk, hopefully, that, you know, some moves, maybe a Moustakas or something like that comes along. Or if not, if they just keep playing good baseball, they keep playing good baseball. You know, I know we're going to talk Manny in a few, so we'll wait for all that. But Hoskins home run derby.
I thought it was impressive as hell. I think, you know, being the number 8 seed didn't get into his head at all. He just went out there with his normal swing. You know, he wasn't trying to mash it 470 like the way some guys were, but he put up numbers. And when you look at his cumulative score over 2 rounds, it's a big 2 rounds. I think he was tied for the highest 2-round score by a non-finalist in like last 15 years or something like that. I mean, he put up a lot of homers in 2 rounds.
He let it fly.
Yeah. I didn't watch. I don't watch All-Star Weekend. The only reason I watched the game because it was on at the bar.
No, I honestly
But I saw the video of his second round, and going back to being simple with the swings,
Yep.
and whoever was commentating for ESPN mentioned Rhys, and he was like, he's not changing his swing for this event.
Nope.
He's got a nice simple leg kick. It's not high. It's not exaggerated. It's simple. It gets his weight back, and boom, he fires through. He's like, you know, he probably doesn't understand how tired he's going to be, like doing a 5-minute BP and trying to max out.
Right.
But he said his swing allows him to not max out because he gets his weight back with the little simple leg kick, you know, and then is able to drive through the baseball.
Yeah.
Hoskins' combined score of 37 tied for the highest 2-round score by a non-finalist in the past 14 years.
No, okay. I was close. I'll take it.
Yeah, you're right there.
I mean, that was impressive, though.
I know
you come out and do 17, and then you follow it up with another 20.
Yeah.
It's hard to go up. Yeah. I mean, if anything, you're going to be 17. He'll go hit 50.
Especially
14,
with this new format, too.
He'll
It's
go
very
8.
tiring.
And I'm with Greg. I don't watch All-Star Weekend. I know what happens at the end.
See,
But I don't.
What I do is I when there's a Philly in the home run derby, I'll DVR it. But all I do is watch their rounds. I will literally fast forward through everyone else and just I DVR'd it Monday night. And I watched Hoskins, and that was it. I watched Hoskins 2 rounds, and then boom, I'm done.
You're done, yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, and same thing. Like, you want to watch Nola pitch, be done with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
The only reason I watched the game is as much as I did is because it was literally on the TV in front of me at PJ's. You know, as I was listening to Birds.
It was like a good playoff atmosphere for the first couple innings, and for it not being like it's a true exhibition game now, it doesn't determine home field and World Series. It was pretty entertaining. Then it kind of had a low point, but I think from the 7th inning on, there was like 15 runs scored.
No,
it got crazy at the end.
I completely agree with that because I was trying to watch it as much as I could last night, and like you guys are saying, like it's with it being an exhibition, like once your guy plays or your guys play, you're kind of like you're tuned out. But Robbie, it's a great point because the first probably 5 innings were real intense, and then when they started going like wholesale substitutions, like. It kind of backed off, but like probably from maybe the top of the 8th, 9th, 10th innings were just, and you also had guys hitting rockets too. I mean, they wound up hitting, like 6 home runs.
The 10 combined.
10 combined,
Which
but I
was
mean
a
in the
new
last,
record. Yeah.
was it in the last 3 innings? I think there was 6 home runs.
Oh, in the last, yeah.
So it was for a ballpark that's not necessarily known as a hitter's park, some bombs left there last night.
Well, there's some bomb hitters, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the one Judge squared up, you knew off of Jump Street
Right.
that was going. You know, what lost it for me is when they did make it. Like, I'd rather it be an exhibition. It is what it is.
Right.
Just do free substitution. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. You know, when they lost me is when they made it count. Like, you made an exhibition, a fan-based exhibition count for something. How asinine is that?
Yeah, and now it doesn't count anymore, but it doesn't matter because you still lost everybody.
I completely.
And honestly, like I like what you're saying too about the whole like the All-Star game should be the one game where, you know what, there is no reentry. You know, pull him out, go back in. You know, whatever the case may be.
Trout go play first base.
Yeah,
Judge,
just-
you know what I mean? Judge
Yeah.
played. I mean,
Yeah,
it would never happen because
right, but I
Judge
mean-
is going to get drilled at third base. but-
Right, but I mean, if Mike Trout is a starter, and you know he bats in the top of the first, he plays the field in the bottom of the first, and you pull him, but you want to put him back out there in the in the eighth, go right ahead. Yeah.
You should be
Absolutely.
allowed. Yeah, it's
Or the votes then go for the guys that end the game.
Ooh, that's nice. Because it's the most important time.
When it was a game that counted. You had the best players start the game, and then the freaking jabrones, because everyone needs a guy.
Representative, that's right.
You know,
Yep.
you got the freaking Pirates with a guy, and you get freaking,
No, you're right.
You should, you guys, then you got to mix it up, because then you're right. Your Trouts, your Sales, your Scherzers are starting the game, and then nothing.
And then nothing, right?
Then you have the game decided by Nick Markakis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, congratulations to him, though. I think there was 4 first-time All-Stars that were, mid-30s. Like Jed Lowry comes to mind. I
Right.
think J.A. Happ as well.
Yep. No, you're.
So did
you're
what?
right.
Markakis played a whole game then?
What's that?
Did Markakis play the whole game then?
No. I mean,
You said it was. You said
No,
it
the
was,
first time he made an All-Star
No,
game.
right. You said
starting.
it was. I must have misheard you then. So yeah.
No worries. It happens. I mumble.
themes, 10 home runs, tons of strikeouts,
Oh yeah.
launch angle bullshit.
I mean, that's Major League Baseball, in a nutshell right now. There was tons of home runs and tons of strikeouts.
Kyle says, sorry, Sour Patch Kids. The Phillies will have a decline now. I think the Nationals won the division now. Your lineup won't be consistent enough to win. But what made it consistent enough to be in first place right now? Why would a decline happen with young kids? Are these 38-year-old guys worn out?
Best player on the Washington Nationals is hitting .214. Until he starts swinging the bat a little better, I'll take my chances against them. I'm more worried about the Braves than I am the Nationals.
And the Braves showed who they are. They're not ready for it yet.
They're close, but they're not.
But they're just not. They're not there yet.
I hate that they're in the NL East because I love their young
they're
talent.
so
and
good.
neither are the
That's
Phillies.
lovely.
They're going to be so good.
And neither are the Phillies. If
No,
we're calling a spade
Well,
a
you
spade.
know why,
completely
though?
agree.
Yeah.
This is why, though.
I completely
There's
agree.
a difference between the two ball clubs.
Right.
One's got 2 horses.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard when you don't have 2 horses in this league. Why is Atlanta scuffle at times? They don't have.
Because they only have Fulton Avich.
Yeah.
They don't have 2, 3 top of the line guys to be able to throw.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
they have the Mighty Pollock, and that's it.
that's it.
I mean, Soroka's a good arm, but he hasn't stayed healthy this season.
They're not there pitching wise, and I think that's what difference
Yeah,
is.
Julio Teheran is not scaring anybody.
No, he is who he
Not
is.
anymore.
He's been who he is. Yeah, I mean, I have no
fourth.
issue with him. Like, if he's my 4th or 5th guy, feel like I'm in pretty good shape. But if he's a top of the rotation guy, that's scary to me.
Oh, for sure.
But, I mean, I don't see how this team declines when they're young. They're only getting better. And when you talk about a lineup that won't be able to consistently hit, well, they started to hit, and they essentially have 2 all-stars in the middle of their lineup, if you really look at it, or 2, 3, because the Double should be an all-star or is close enough to be one. And you expect Santana to have a better second half.
But even
But just
on-
like you would
even on
expect
the
some things to
Santana
get
real
better.
fast,
Alfaro's starting to hit. Guys are having good years. I don't know.
I know Santana's a lightning rod, but we do realize he's on pace to hit 25 to 30 homers and drive in 95 to 100 RBIs.
And have an on-base percentage close to 400.
And have almost 200 walks.
yeah, it's
So,
insane.
I understand the batting average is a lightning rod for him, and people are saying this is the worst signing of all time, and it wasn't worth it. But you turn over at the end of the year, and he's got 26 and 97, and that's a bad year.
How are they saying it's the worst signing? You
That-
knew that. You guys said exactly what was going to happen in preseason. I'll go
They
back
don't-
and play the tape.
They don't listen to us.
Wait.
Let's go to
Fuck.
the tape.
They don't listen to
We
us.
said that people are going to get annoyed by him because of the average. The average is going to annoy people. We knew who he was. He's an
And-
on-base machine, and he'll hit you 25 to 30 like we talked about. I mean,
30
maybe
and
close to
100.
100.
What's wrong with that?
If you want to blame
Nothing's wrong with
It's
anybody,
not J.D. Martinez. Like, he's got 80 RBIs at the
Yeah.
break, but I mean, who the fuck is that?
And you also ain't going to pay for you didn't pay for
Right.
J.D.
Yeah.
Martinez.
Right.
but if you want to blame anybody for that situation right there, you blame Gabe. Because realistically, exactly.
Yeah.
Martinez should be hitting second. Hoskins should be hitting fourth. And I understand why he's batting Rhys second, because the analytics say that your best hitter should be hitting in the 2-hole because they get the most at-bats over the course of a season with runners in scoring position. Why? I don't have any fucking clue. But that's what that's what the analytics say.
But,
All right, wait.
And on that, he's worth $25 million alone this year for what he's done with Michael.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Completely agreed.
You've made Michael.
I won't fight you on that.
You made Michael an actual legitimate Major League Baseball player for the first time in his career.
Who we thought he could be. Who we
For
thought
the
he
first
should
time
be.
and
Remember, this is a 300 hitter his whole minor league career, 25, 30 home run guy. I mean, this guy was everything you thought was a can't miss guy coming in.
As a hitter.
And as a hitter. And he got a little pool happy, this, that, and the third.
Yep.
And I think, like you said, Carlos Santana did wonders for him. Wonders.
And
Why you weren't really pressing that? You don't really need a third baseman, essentially.
And I didn't realize that he still had a year of arbitration left. So he's still eligible. So I'm sitting here like, it doesn't matter what Mike is doing because he's not going to be back. But at this rate, if Carlos Santana has made him find whatever was missing, yeah, I'll go to arbitration. Well, yeah, I'll give you $5 million next year.
Well, I don't think whatever was missing was on the field. I think whatever was missing was
right.
You're completely
was
right.
between the ears.
Yeah.
They've been batting him eighth, right?
And that's a lot of
And
the twos.
I think some of that, too, having him have to be a little bit more selective, batting in front of
and
the
you
pitcher.
see a lot more fastballs down at the bottom of the lineup.
That was a classic Charlie Manuel move, though, because early in his career when Pat Burrell struggled, Charlie moved him to the 8th spot, and that's how he started to turn around.
So, where was this one at? Kyle said Santana can't be played as an everyday first baseman. He's a pure DH. Well, that's wrong. That's wrong. Go look over the history of his career. He's a former freaking catcher.
He's a catcher, third baseman.
He's not a pure DH. The guy's a freaking catcher. You can't.
He's not a defensive liability.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's got a good glove at first base. I don't
get
know.
me wrong. I understand that if there was a DH in the National League and you would have played Hoskins at first base.
Oh, absolutely.
Fine, I'm in.
We're good.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with him his first base this year. I thought he'd been really good defensively because he's a former third baseman too.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that's an issue.
I would actually say he's been better defensively than I expected. Now, has he had a couple mental lapses? Yeah, he has. But
the one in Miami comes to mind.
Right, but you also notice that the mental lapses were as they were getting close to the All-Star break, where that
everybody
grind,
was.
Yeah, that grind was starting to wear, and they could see the vacation coming. And I'd be willing to bet that he comes back after the All-Star break, and maybe the average doesn't rise dramatically, but I think everything else gets tight again.
But if he ends at 230, 27, and 100,
that's a win.
I mean, that's worth $25 million to me all day long. In today's current baseball, I mean, you're talking about Bryce Harper,
right,
making $35, $40 million next year, right? Batting 220. Yeah, now he's
not even hitting 220.
Well, but he's he's probably going to hit 50 homers. You know what I mean? So you're getting that side of it,
right?
But what's the difference? Because he's younger. You know what I mean? I think Carlos actually, obviously walks a lot more than Bryce does. You know what I mean? But that's a win to me with Carlos Santana.
I agree. Everything says I agree. The Phillies are young, but they're growing, and they probably will add a bat at the deadline.
Yeah.
And you think they're going to add something. Ralphie says, would you trade Santana in the Baltimore for Adam Jones and then move Hoskins back to first base?
If Baltimore wanted to do it, yes, in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not.
Because it's Adam Jones.
Correct. And you get Rhys back.
Yeah.
You
improve it 2 positions by doing that.
Yeah. Because now we don't want to ever see Aaron Altair.
Actually, you may improve it 3 positions because Jones goes to center, Odubel slides from center to left, Hoskins goes from left to first base. I think all 3 positions get better.
I even think at this point in Adam Jones' career, you can leave him in left.
You could, but he's still a flat-out Gold Glove center fielder.
Yeah, and you got to remember when Odubel plays at home, he's a left fielder. I mean, the Phillies actually play him out of position, but he's proven.
Yeah, I mean,
at
this point, you're splitting.
Yeah,
you're splitting hairs,
right?
Dion says Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, or both. Let's go.
Both.
Trout.
I'm not in on the Harper game. It's Trout to me.
Well, I mean, obviously, if I can only pick one, it's Trout, but I want both. I'm greedy. I want Harper. I've always wanted Harper from day one.
You would.
Do you want Harper more than Machado?
I wanted both equally.
Okay.
Like I go into
That's
this all season. There we go. Both of them. Let's go.
Yeah, well, Machado's not going to happen. So.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
It could. Here's what I want to throw out there.
Why?
Why? And you can't all you want. What I want to know is this: unless the Dodgers win the World Series, it is not a stone cold mortal lock that Machado goes back there.
Oh, you guys are worried about the Dodgers, huh?
They have too many goddamn people to pay, and too many people that need to play for it to be a lead pipe cinch, and he goes back there.
It's not even as much the Dodgers are my concern. Really, it's as much as that.
Where do you think he's going?
Oh, I think it's New York. I hate to say it. There's no question in my mind where he's going. When you got one of your best buddies plays there, when you've been talking about that, when to me for the Phillies, you had to get him in the door. To me, to keep him in your building for a couple months to be able to get the goddamn deal done. When he's now 2,000 miles away, playing for an organization that's got tons of money if they want to go pay the luxury tax. They got the money to print it out to go pay his ass if they want to.
Where are they going to put him?
If we can listen, stop it. If we can sit here and say that organization is going to go rent him for 2 months, a 26-year-old star in this league, and they're doing it as a rental, that's crazy talk. That's crazy. If you don't think the Dodgers are the leading candidate in the offseason that then land Manny Machado again, I can't watch nothing anymore because I don't know what I'm even watching.
I'm not.
So that's crazy talk.
I'm not saying they're not in the running.
Right. Nobody's saying
I'm
they're
just
not
saying
the leading candidate.
you have a 23-year-old in Seager who, yes, is Manny better, but he's locked up for a lot cheaper.
Do you remember what Manny said though? Remember what Manny said, and it all ties into him being a Dodger right now. He specifically said that I got no problem playing third base if that's where a team wants me to play. So that writing was already on the wall.
And you got Justin Turner there.
Okay, well then you move Seager to second.
Where are you going to play Kike Hernandez or Chris Taylor?
Bye.
But it's not that easy.
300 hitters.
Okay, well that's not my problem to figure out.
That's what we're saying.
You're not going to go
enough guys.
Oh my God, you're not going to go get Manny Machado for 2 months to let him walk.
The LA Dodgers are.
I don't buy it. I don't freaking buy it.
You don't have to buy it.
Well, then they're smarter than everybody because they don't give a shit about prospects.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
But they never have.
Okay.
They never have.
Listen, I just if you think that we're in the running in the all season for
I
him,
absolutely do.
I don't buy it, dude.
Well,
I don't
Because
buy
money
it.
talks. Money talks.
So no shit. And
we have all the money in the world.
All right, look. Here's the thing. Are we in a worse position than we were yesterday? Yes, and dramatically so. It's not even a question about that. But
yesterday we didn't have him either.
And that's fair. But
in terms of signing him,
but in terms of signing, hold on, hear me out. Because does LA have the inside shot? Of course they do. He's in the building. But to Greg's point, and I am completely on board with this, is I honestly think they look at their organization, their roster, their everything, and say, you know what? Seager being out for the rest of this year screws us. We're this close. Don't care if it's a rental because this guy's going to put us over the top. We'll go out and get him. If we win the World Series, then maybe we'll talk about extending him. If not, hey, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Because that's just how the Dodgers operate. Magic Johnson is under strict orders. He's got, sure, can they afford to pay the luxury tax? They can. And will they to a certain extent? Yes. But you look at all the guys that they have to pay because they are a star-studded team up and down. At some point, they're either going to have to part ways with more than one homegrown talent or just say, Manny, we appreciate everything you did for us. Thanks for stopping by.
Or they're middle or puppies for the next 8 years, 8 to 10 years. I mean, you can look at it that way too. I mean, you're making room for listen. There ain't nobody besides Seager that and Turner, right? But the other names aren't. You're not keeping them over Manny Machado. Let's be clear.
Straight up, no.
Okay,
but
so
when
then
you
stop
have,
it.
But
So
when
then
you're
stop
trying
it.
to worry about paying Cody Bellinger, Mac Muncy, Matt Kemp now, Justin Turner again, Corey Seager's. Corey Seager.
You don't have to play Justin Turner again. Machado plays third base. I mean, you're talking about an aging vet that you have to pay.
But he's locked up right now.
You were talking about you have to sign him again. I'm talking about no, you don't because you're bringing Manny.
All right, so now you're waiting 3 years for Justin
That's
Turner
the
to
name
go
you
away.
brought up. I didn't bring up Justin
But
Turner.
Here's the other thing,
you
too.
brought him up.
A month ago, 3 weeks ago, when the Phillies said, we're backing off, the price is too high, no one had a problem. Now all
There's
of a
no
sudden,
price is too high thing.
Now all of a sudden,
There's no price too high.
Now all of a sudden,
so you're talking to the wrong guy.
Nothing's done.
You're talking to the wrong guy, Greg, because I sat here numerous fucking times and said if a guy's 26 or under, I sell the fucking farm because I know what I have.
But you want to hold on to
No.
Markel Fultz.
What?
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Okay,
You can't
hold on to Markel Fultz for a
You can't hold
fucking
on
crop.
to one puppy
No.
and then trade off the rest of the
So you're wrong.
puppies.
So you're wrong.
Why?
So you're fucking wrong
Why?
again. Because I said I'm not trading Markel Fultz for a crumb, for a quitter. That's what I'm not trading Markel Fultz for.
Okay.
So wake the hell up on what I said. Don't put words in my mouth that I
you
never
said,
said.
I'm not trading Markel Fultz.
It's different scenarios.
not.
You're an idiot.
It is not.
If that's not different than you, you should walk out the door right now and never be able to talk sports. Because that's a complete
It is
different
not. He's
argument.
a superstar.
Dude, he's a superstar who quit. There's a big difference.
He was hurt.
Greg, he made it clear he wants to play for one team. He's not even going to go to Toronto.
I don't care.
Oh, my God.
But you can't have it both ways. You
Dude,
can't hold on to
he's
one
not-
and then get rid of everybody.
Wow, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life that you will not understand the difference of the two. You're talking about a guy who's a star in baseball. A star, okay?
Absolutely.
A middle lineup star.
100%.
There is not one prospect in this organization offensively that's probably going to be who he is.
I don't disagree.
So you move them all. Now,
I don't disagree.
Now
But
because you're disliking Markel Fultz, you're trying to play games with me.
If my
That
front
ain't
office
playing here.
decides that
That ain't
price
playing
is
here.
too high, I'm okay because I can still have a chance to sign him.
Trust a bunch of guys wearing khakis then. That you can trust a bunch of idiots wearing khakis.
Oh, then I'm an idiot. I don't care.
Because the Dodgers are baseball guys and I don't
there's
make
a price too high. Your price is Markel Fultz for Kawhi.
No,
right? No. Right.
My fault. My price was never. I'm never going for Kawhi Leonard because I don't want him.
All right, well,
so you
regardless,
picked the wrong name.
but-
So you're wrong. Because I said from day one I didn't want Kawhi.
Right. But then you were on the Kawhi boat. Now you're off it.
I said for an extension maybe, but if no extension, why would I do it when I know he wants to play in L.A.? I said that. Then nothing changed here.
I understand.
There ain't
All
no
right.
flip flopping here.
Well, all right.
Whoa.
So but let me ask you
You
this.
try to put words, try to spin shit. It ain't
There ain't
flying.
no spinning shit.
You tried. You failed. It's okay.
But here's the thing.
Try again shortly.
Yeah, whatever.
Put yourself in.
I'm right.
Put yourself in Clintack's shoes. Put yourself in Clintack's shoes. And the Dodgers are coming.
Probably wearing like an 8.5.
The Orioles are coming to you, and they want your number 2, your number 9, your number 2, your number 8, your number 9, your 19, and a 5th. And all they're getting from the Dodgers is a 4, 27, 28, and 2 guys that aren't ranked. So if I'm Matt Klentak, why the fuck are you asking for so much more from me than you are from the Dodgers? You know what, Baltimore? You go suck it.
That's fine. I'm not buying into Matt Klentak's that savvy. Matt Klentak has wanted Manny Machado from day one. That's the only name we've heard here in Philadelphia linked
So we
to
can
Matt
still get him
Klentak.
in November.
You're not even letting me finish what I'm trying to say
So,
right now,
I
Greg.
will let you finish. Go
Okay,
ahead.
this has been the guy you've targeted. Not us. You put that name got circulated out. Not by us. Okay? By the Phillies organization and Matt Klentak. Okay? They gush over the guy. You had an opportunity to give up. Let's be real. I could take a boat to the Dominican tomorrow and find you 25 Sixto Sanchez's. Okay? So I don't need to hear a guy throws 100. The whole league throws hard. Whole league fucking throws hard. Okay? His issue is location anyway. There's one. Okay? Medina, there's 2. Okay? I'll just move. I'll move because I got to have enough trust in my organization and my scouts to be able to replace it. Because if I don't, then I'm playing with scared money. Scared money don't make money. You want to be a big top 5 fucking market? You want to act like big money? You want to talk about how much money you make? But when you have a chance to land a star when your team's in first place and you don't, because what? Because of Scott Kingery? Because he could go too. Because the list goes on what I would deal for him. Crawford, who I love, right? Who I think is going to be a good player. I'll give you 8 for a rental because I know once he's in my building that I'm going to be able to offer him enough money, like you said, because money talks, to be able to land him once he's here.
Okay.
So
with that being said,
no, you got me fired up tonight.
With
I
that
was
being
calm.
said-
This was calm. He's laying back on the couch.
has he signed an extension yet? So no, it's not a done deal.
Jesus Christ. We had to go through 2 weeks of handshake agreements. He's coming to the Phillies.
But
and
everyone
then-
was willing to let him
then-
go 2
then-
months ago, a month ago. Hey, we're out. Everyone said okay.
I never
that's
said
probably
we're
the
out.
smart move.
I never once said I'd be out on him. I don't care what everybody else says. I didn't sit here and say I'd be out on him because the price is too high.
No, you know what? Here's the problem with this whole thing is, I think
I
everybody.
want to yell at Matt Klentak. That's all.
And that's fine. I think everybody was willing to let this play itself out, and then all of a sudden, Jason Stark said that there was a handshake agreement in place, and that the Orioles had a roster move that they were going to announce after the All-Star game, And the Phillies also had a roster move that they were going to announce. And everybody started putting one and one together. Bing, bang, boom, it's a done deal. And nobody knows if it was a done deal or not. But now this entire fan base is shitting all over Matt Klentak for, quote-unquote, not getting the deal done when we don't even know if there was really a deal in the first place.
Well, if there wasn't a deal in the first place or there wasn't conversations for a deal.
Well, I'm sure there was conversations.
But I'm saying that if you had the opportunity, it's all about opportunity. You had an opportunity. Okay, I'm not going to hold the guy over the coals over it, but I'm going to tell it how it is for a minute. You lost. You lost on a huge opportunity. The Dodgers just got better than you. That's competition. Now you can play.
The Dodgers already were better than that.
But Manny Machado makes you better than the Dodgers. To me, they makes you just as good, or you can play.
This year?
He puts you in the conversation to get there, maybe.
To get there, he doesn't win yet this
Why
year.
Why not, dude? It's baseball.
I think
you don't know.
But I think we're still a year ahead, though.
Okay, but you can't go sign Carlos Santana and Jake Arrieta and then pussyfoot.
That's tier 1.
And you're right.
Tier 2's right in front of you, Greg. You're in first.
And then we missed the first step.
If we're a third-place baseball team, the conversation's not here. The second you went in the one, the conversation and the expectations are now fucking lifted.
And we didn't hit the first one. It happens.
Oh,
that's why you get 3 strikes in baseball.
Oh, I can't with you tonight.
That's fine.
You have an opportunity, and listen.
Dude, am I pissed he's not here? Absolutely.
I'm just saying
but do I see a bigger picture that we still have an opportunity? Yes.
Okay, and you can say that. But what I'm saying is
we can still go get better as a team.
Okay. Try one, you fail. Okay? You fail.
Okay.
You absolutely failed because of prospects, because of unknowns.
Well, you set your price, and it's too high. You go to buy a car. If the price doesn't come down, do you buy the car just because you really like the car?
I buy a car if it hits me 310 and hits me 40, babe. You know what I mean? You're selling me on something I want.
But you know what I mean?
I understand.
You have
I love yelling at you.
And to Mike's point, yeah, if the prospects were equal of what it was, and you went with the worst package, put the higher upside on one guy,
and Mike,
hey, that's not on Matt Klentak.
But to the point though, what Mike said is that, scouts around baseball don't look at our farm system as much as we do as being as good in certain spots. The Dodgers are perceived to have a better overall farm.
No, I don't know.
I
don't know that that's true, though.
No. I'm just going by Baseball America. Baseball Medina's out of the top 100 today. So that's strange. He just dropped out of the top 100. You know what I mean? So that's another guy, the guy who just dropped out. They're listed higher from these quote-unquote experts, and that's what I think is a part of it too.
But it's weird, though, because these so-called baseball experts in their top 100 rankings or whatever, how do the Phillies have a top 5 farm system? The Dodgers are struggling to get back into the top 10, but somehow the Dodgers have better prospects. I don't understand that.
I don't think the Dodgers have better prospects. It's just the Dodgers have done a better job at getting the higher ceiling, the more upside guys, where the Phillies recently have gone college to get the safer picks.
And this kid also did, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he hit a home run in the Futures game on Sunday?
I think he hit 2.
Yeah. So
I think he's also one that took Hunter Green 102 deep, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, came in at 104, went out at 105.
Went out at 107.
Yeah.
And everything said, long story short, the Phillies blew it, and I'll say semi blew it. Okay? And what I mean by semi is we talk about huge opportunity in front of you. You're in first place in your division. You can say to the rest of the NL, hey.
There's no question.
Hey, our little rebuild, that's over. We're ready to go. We brought in a 26-year-old kid. Now, if Machado's 30, I work things differently. I'm not going to give you a farm. But I've always said, and I got to stick by what I said here, and Mike's heard it a million times. If you're 20, and Rob has heard it, if you're 26 or younger, and you're a proven commodity in the big leagues, I'll give up everything for you.
Right, but here's where this is a double-edged sword. Because if you give up what they were asking for him and you don't win the World Series and he doesn't re-sign, everybody then turns around next February and says, well, Klentak got fleeced on the Machado deal. Why did he give up so much for a rental? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Oh, absolutely. But to me, then it's, well, you ain't savvy enough to get a deal done the second time. Then it's on you. Then it's another strike on, and then it's a strike on you that way.
But then why isn't it he took his shot and it just didn't work?
Well, listen, if you want a guy, you're going to get a guy. Okay, because if you get the call that the Dodgers are jumping in here, and you're seeing it, you're hearing it, and they're jumping in. If you really want a guy, then you make the call again, and you say, well, okay, what can I add on here pick another 2 you want, or whatever the case may be, and get it done that way. Like I said, I'm not trying to crush the guy because we're in first place, but none of us being in first place has anything to do with him. Let's be real. These aren't his kids. So I got to be fair on whose kids they are. I'm not saying he didn't add good pieces in Ariana and Santana, because he did, but the rest of it's not his guys.
No,
so,
it's Ruben's guys.
So I'm not going to run from that. So he's done nothing but Santana, Ariana, which were good. Okay? So really, he's 2 for 3, and I'll even go 2 for 4 because I think Machado's a double miss, because I just think it hurts you in free agency. And that's just my reasoning. You think it can still get done. I just say we're in the top 5 to be able to sign him in the all season. We ain't 1 or 2. If he was here, we're 1 or 2. We're probably more 4 or 5 now, because there's other teams that just have as much money as we do and don't give a shit. You know what I mean? We give a shit more on spending money.
No,
I
not
don't
this coming off
I don't
season.
think this year.
They only got $15 million committed in payroll next year.
I hope
they can take blank checks
Yeah.
to Machado and Bryce and say,
I
"Here
hope
you go,
you're
guys."
right. I hope you're right.
And that's what.
I hope you're
that's
right.
what I'm banking
But
on.
I'm also scared from from day one with this organization, this ownership group, and Middleton come running out, and Paul Fischel said it's him. You know what I mean? But there's still way too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Oh, and
there's
that's
just
a
too
given.
many. Yeah. And when you're talking about spending $300 million to $500 million on a player, where that's got to get approved by like 15 people, that's concerning to me. Because they're all in it. Most of them are in it just for a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
More so than they care about the game of baseball.
Yeah.
That's concerning. I need not somebody telling me they're the face of it. I need a couple owners. I can't have this long list of ownership that's here. That's my only issue with writing the blank check, Mike.
I think
because we can.
I
We
think
should.
that's been solved. I think the only answer is Middleton at this point.
Yeah, and I would agree with that.
And
I think
he made
he's,
that very clear.
He's positioned
I know he
himself
has.
in the
as-
last year or so.
Yeah, he is the one in the ownership group who makes a decision.
And listen, I hope that I hope he has the backing to go out and write the
here
blank
you go.
check.
You want me to blow your mind right now? His son is a movie producer out in L.A., or he's in the higher ups out in L.A. Talk about some back end deal.
Inside job.
Inside job.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I could just hope that maybe when the Dodgers come to Philly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and Manny sees and hears the reception that Chase Utley gets with his last road trip into Philly, Manny says, "You know what? It's kind of a nice place."
And then the ovation we gave him when we used in Baltimore after the rain delay.
That could be the biggest problem. And I will throw this out here right now. If you are a Phillies fan and you're going to see the Phillies and Dodgers next week, do not boo Manny Machado, because this was not his fault. He did not elect where he was getting traded to.
He has no control
You
over
need
this.
to,
Zero control.
You need to be doing the same "we want Manny" chants that you were doing when he came in with Baltimore last week.
Completely. The other thing, too, is he knows Philly is after him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like the Phillies are coming out of the woods. Like, it's not like Miami's all of a sudden going, "Hey, we're gonna put our hat in the Machado ring in the offseason." Like, he knows
that'd be like Death Valley for his career.
Well,
but
it wasn't for Giancarlo.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like he knows this situation is here. He knows that they were an option. He almost was here, and that it is a possible destination this offseason. Until it's done, I'm going to have hope that it's going to happen.
And you rightfully should.
And
I'm not saying I don't have hope, but
I mean, and to me, it's like it's okay for people to get pissed off, but for everyone who's now like doom and gloom because we didn't get him,
no doom and gloom.
pump the brakes.
yeah, keep in mind there's zero doom and
Danny
gloom with
McGuckin, pump the brakes.
Yeah, it's not over. Like I still think we're going to win the division.
we're going to win the East because it stinks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this team's taking giant steps forward, and there's nothing to be mad about. But I've been looking for Matt Klentak to piss me off. Yeah, I mean, I just look for him to piss me off. He's like, I just don't. I was never. I'm not the khaki dude. You know what I mean? I'm not the khaki loafer dude. That's not who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I want my GM to like be wearing turfs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to like look the part that he actually knows baseball and just isn't stuck in a book. That's my gripe with a lot of these guys. Whatever.
Now, everybody that hated Ruben so much,
Love Rube.
what do you think now?
Love Rube. Rube had big fucking balls.
See ya.
Rube would have got him.
See ya.
I'm just saying, Ruben would have got him.
Okay.
Rube would have gave up the farm, but he would have got him.
Yeah.
And all the farm would have been was a bunch of guys who weren't good enough anyway, because that's all the deals he made were, he gave up guys that weren't even good enough.
And what we win.
All right. Well, you loved them when we all went all in. Everybody did, and you can't say you didn't.
I was never.
Okay.
I never liked Rube.
Sure. When Holiday and Lee came here, you didn't like them. All right. Fair. That's fine. Good talk.
Yep.
You didn't like it at all. You didn't cheer for the deal and be like, man, that's a good job. Great job, Rube.
Did it win?
You two fight like a same-sex couple. You know that?
Even when a guy won that he didn't like, he still doesn't like him. So your argument, again, is invalid.
What?
What you just said. Did he win? You don't like the guy because he didn't win. But then a guy who just did win, and Doug Peterson, who you didn't like, you still don't like. So there's no pleasing you, Big Dog.
No, I gave it back to Doug. I gave it back to Doug.
Okay.
I gave him the credit.
It was the worst tongue-in-cheek bullshit I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you're like, yeah.
If you don't believe it, then you don't believe it.
Absolutely.
But,
I don't believe the look on your face when you said it.
Okay.
There's no honesty there.
Sean McVay, where you at?
You just want the girl.
Who does it?
Man,
Who does it?
I mean, obviously the whole Rams offense does.
That's what I said. Who wouldn't? Carson.
Hey, the whole Rams offense might have already had it.
You know how it works. There's a lot of sloppy seconds.
I want to know where he met her. Is that a DC find or an LA find?
That's got to be the LA find, right?
You would think.
I sure hope so.
That's why everyone wants to go there. Ralph says the fact that the Dodgers GM said they will have Manny play third base and shortstop, we will see in the all season. So, they're already probably going to do a little bit of that then. And
yeah, I saw that come from Dave Roberts too. I saw something like a tweet saying Dave Roberts did the same thing. He's already talked to him about playing short and third.
Mm-hmm. Handshake deal, though.
Why
handshake deal.
Why make the deal then if you're going to put Manny Machado at third base?
Well, you play him a little at third base this year, to play him there next year a little bit.
To try to smooth him into the rest of it.
Seager.
Right, but I mean, Justin Turner tears the cover off the ball.
Oh, yeah. But
you know what I mean?
Not
like
this season, man.
Well, because he started hurt.
But I think that's probably part of why he'll give Justin Turner a couple days here and there. You know what I mean? Like I just think they feel like they're versatile, being able to go short and third.
Oh yeah,
and he's good. I would to me I'd get Manny Machado to play him a shortstop, but I understand
and
it.
Your hole is at shortstop.
I understand if you're planning on signing him and having him play a little obviously third base with Seager. But we'll see. I mean,
all I'm going to say is there's a big difference from having to pay him $6.3 million for the rest of this year and probably $40 million for next year.
Big difference. Yep.
Huge
difference.
Listen, I mean, we'll see how it works out. We're obviously in the run, and the sky is not falling here. Make this clear that I'm saying I just like to take shots at Matt Klentak. I wanted Manny Machado, and I don't give a shit about prospects when it's a young when you're getting a young player that hasn't made it clear that he's going somewhere. Like he didn't say like I'm only going to play in L.A. like some guy said, right? He never said that about the other argument earlier,
He's in Toronto.
which was 1-2. No, he didn't. He didn't go there yet, and he might not even freaking report. So that's what you want to get.
What happens if he doesn't report? By the way,
I don't know.
Is that trade voided?
He could get traded again.
No, Wilson said if he's not traded to the Lakers the next week or two, he doesn't know what's going on anymore because they traded.
I didn't think you could trade him so quick. I thought it was like a 60-day or a 6-month. Like once you're traded. Like, I think it's like the bird rights or something. Like, you can't be traded within a certain amount of time after you've been traded once. Now, I don't know if that's during a certain period. You know what I mean? Like
might be during the season.
Maybe during the season you can't
to
trade.
Make a guy not get flipped like quick like that.
Or it's the opposite. In the off season, you can't keep flipping guys, but in the season, maybe I don't
I would
know.
think the off season you can. In the season, you can't. I had to guess.
I thought a part of it also had to do with salary rules or something like that. Like if they took on. I want to say if the salaries coming back from San Antonio exceed what they're giving up by more than 20%, that then allows you, because you've assumed that financial responsibility, to then go ahead and make another trade. But if the salaries are equal, then the NBA is always
a crock of shit.
But it's always about money with them. You have to have. Trades have to work with salaries. That's why guys always get traded. They trade expiring contracts as salary dumps, and it's a lot of bullshit.
Ralphie D said Kawhi can be traded after 60 days.
60 days, okay.
Okay. The bird rights is a signing, an exception. So it's not necessarily the trade.
Right.
But I knew the bird rights were something related to it's a signing.
Well, 60 days puts you at
The bird rights are it allows you to exceed the salary cap to sign your own guys.
Right.
Before the season.
I was going to say 60 days puts you at like mid-September.
Yeah, you're still good.
It's still good.
I just think it's a flip. It's got to be, dude. You traded your franchise player.
Actually,
you traded the face of your organization. The guy,
Brian Attard actually brought that up to me this morning.
Homegrown guy.
And that's the first I heard of it. And once he kind of went in and explained his theory on it, I'm like, it makes a lot of sense. You trade him to Toronto. Toronto has no qualms about trading him to anybody because at this point, Toronto just gave up their star to get out of that contract. You know what I mean? Because they realized Brian Clinch is a freaking idiot and gave him a max contract. And then you can flip him to L.A., get Lonzo, Kuzma, and Ingram. You know what I mean? Or some are younger, and now you have your younger team that's still pretty talented, and now your window just stayed open a little bit longer.
True. I mean, it makes sense to me. That's what that's sort of where I saw it going. Sixers. You want to do Sixers quickly?
Yeah, we'll do it quick.
Yeah.
So what do we got? Morey. They tried to go after Morey.
They tried to go after Morey. They couldn't get him. And again, I don't know if it was a situation where Houston wouldn't give them permission to talk to Morey or Morey just shot it down, whatever the case may be. But so news of this leaks, and now it's news of this leaks. The Sixers didn't get LeBron. They didn't get Kawhi. This Jabron from Minnesota was going to go to Europe, and now he's going to Sacramento. And now all of a sudden, all the whispers are, Brett Brown doesn't know what he's doing. The Sixers front office is really going to cost them this season. And I'm over here saying they're going to do what they do, and they're going to put up another season of 52 to 58 wins. I mean, have they gotten worse? I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
No, I'm in no worries right now. Okay. I love how people throw we went star hunting. Have you ever actually gone hunting? How many times you come back hunting or fishing without anything?
Yep. A whole
but you
lot.
know what I mean? That's why it's not called catching. It's called hunting. It's not fishing.
I got a guy who's
2019 class is better, right?
Completely.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, right?
yeah.
To the people out there that are worried.
Completely.
2019 class is better.
And if LA trades for Kawhi, then they can't go sign Daddy's boy Klay Thompson. Because where's that money going to come from?
I'm just cracking up because your analogy is perfect. I got a guy that I got Eagles season tickets with who's gone hunting every year for the last 19 years and has never once gotten me venison. God damn it!
And is that Brett Brown being a novice? No. Possibly. Is that?
No, I don't think that's that.
No, I don't agree. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for those who think that. You know what I mean? I'll give it to you because hey, it's his first time running a show. But how many times? How many times you even go into a baseball analogy? How many times you go up there and you strike out?
You know what I mean? It's just you're spot on.
Just because we didn't land anybody doesn't mean all hell's broken loose. We still have two of the top young players in the game. You still have an unknown in Markelle, who a lot of people are very high on. And if he does come around, then you got better without going out and doing anything.
And the most underrated
How the fuck am I delusional? How am I delusional? What do you do? What is there to worry about? What is there to worry about? Watch the video earlier. Two generational talents. Like he said, Fultz, possibly a third. Okay? At least drafted to be one. Where am I freaking delusional? This team, you don't think Joel Embiid's going to get better? Newsflash for you. You put this in fucking writing. Okay? Joel Embiid will be the best player in the Eastern Conference this year. Put that in freaking writing. And guess who might be two? Guess who might be second? His sidekick. Okay? Might be the second best player in the East this year. Because remember, LeBron ain't home no more. Okay? You guys all crown Boston. You all crown them. What makes you think that they're going to be better with Kyrie and Hayward? Because now guys that were legit good basketball players take a back seat. Okay? What makes you think the chemistry is going to be better? What makes you think that? Okay? Kyrie won with LeBron. Let's not forget who he won with.
One basketball.
All right?
One basketball.
I love Gordon Hayward, but that's a big-time freaking injury.
Yeah.
You think the Sixers might be better than them because of the four pieces that we just all want to act like aren't here. Like we're forgetting who we got. Embiid, Ben, Dario, Markelle. That's how you start it. Zaire Smith looks like he's going to be a player a little bit, okay? You know what I mean? So what do you want? You brought Redick back. You brought him. You have your bench, okay? Because you lost Bellinelli and Ersan. Get the fuck out of here. They're just guys, dude. They came out so
Who came up
small
very
in the
small
Boston
against
series,
Boston.
and you're worried about beating Boston, but you want to keep the two guys who showed that they came up the smallest in the Boston series. I can't help you. If I'm delusional, that's the definition of delusional.
I look at the Wilson Chandler trade. I hate Wilson Chandler as a basketball player, but his skill set is exactly what
they
this team
needed,
needed.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I picture Wilson Chandler and Kenyon Martin as the same guy.
Yeah.
But
I forgot about Wilson, too.
But that,
Yo,
that,
Kenyon Martin could ball a little bit, though.
yeah, but I can never get over the lips on the cheek tattoo.
How does Stevens own Brett when it's their first time in the playoffs? Like, where's the ownership? Good. Boston won. Okay? They were a team that was in the playoffs and the Eastern Conference Finals the year before. Most of them players. This was our first time in the dance. So that's delusional to think your first time in the dance that you're going to go all wet. That's delusional talk. That's not fair to put that on 20-year-old kids. 1, 2, you got to let it grow. You got to give it a minute to grow. You think you're just going to plant something and we got Sprout City? Come on.
Takes a baby 9 months to grow.
Like basketball is my shit.
love
So
that.
we ain't gonna come in here and just call me delusional because I think a 52-win team is gonna be as good, if not better.
Hashtag Sprout City.
Sprout City.
We're talking. It's Sprout talk. I love that.
But Kyle, you're saying Joel's great. You love Embiid, dude. He's the most dominating big man in basketball, in my opinion. Okay, and then you can say Anthony Davis, fine, but Joel plays with his back to the basket more than a lot of these guys do. Still, that matters. You guys just overlook him and Ben like they're not. Like these aren't superstars or budding superstars. I just can't believe what I'm hearing about the sky is falling with the Philadelphia 76ers.
And
Like they're 30-year-old plus players and they hit their ceiling.
And I'll even go out on a limb so far as to say, if he hadn't made the Mikal Bridges deal, none of anything else this offseason would matter.
And Zaire bad.
I think people were just so fucking butthurt that he traded the Villanova kid. And what did we do? We sat here on this couch a month ago and we said it was proximity bias. It was the fact that he's from Villanova. He plays his home games in the same building. It's proximity bias. And at the end of the day, would you take him? Sure. But did you have to? No. And what happened? Brett flipped him for a guy that he liked just as much and got a future asset.
And a guy's looking better so far in summer, like a lot better. Now,
And oh, by the way, Furkan just took the Bellinelli role. So
easy and probably more physical. And he said Tatum was 19, looked like he's a seasoned vet. He played with seasoned vets. I just want to take the computer. I want to throw it off the thing. Like, what are we talking about? He played with seasoned vets. That's what I just said. You didn't listen to who he played with.
Yeah, it's easy to look that great when you have that supporting cast.
You're playing with
One series.
Al Horford. You're playing with Markieff Moore or Marcus Morris, whatever Moore's twin
Marcus
it was.
Smart,
You're
yeah.
playing with Marcus Smart. Guys that have been in the league. Guys that, to your point, were in the Eastern Conference Finals the year before.
Listen, screaming doesn't make me right. Me just being right makes me right. I just get passionate and fired up when we're talking
Because he
sports.
was screaming earlier and he was wrong.
Like, I love this guy. I'll yell him right out of the building like I'm yelling you, Kyle.
Because he was screaming earlier and he was wrong.
I love you too, but you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you how it is, and you're completely wrong about everything you've said about the Sixers. And you think like, I cannot wait till next season because I want you to run and hide. Like, you ain't even allowed to wear a jersey because you think they're going to digress. You ain't even allowed to wear a jersey, babe, because if you ain't optimistic about a young and upcoming basketball team, maybe just stop watching basketball together. WNBA's playing right now. Go watch a little bit. All right? Go watch a little bit of WNBA. Get back to us.
Johnny Football still slinging in Canada?
Yeah, Terry Rozier. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
Just stop. You know what?
He stinks.
Again,
I mean,
people
tore us up, but-
people who have their own shows on this station should not dominate conversation on our show. That's what your own show is for.
Well, he's chiming. We love to chime.
I mean, we like to chime in, but come on.
Look, he says things that piss me off, and he knows it, and it's going to get reactions. You know what I mean?
Nah, Jabron.
He's trying to piss me off. I see you.
He did get us close to the finish line, though.
No, I love it. Get me fired up, please. We ain't doing our jobs here if there ain't some screaming and yelling.
You got sweat going.
Oh, you were sweating earlier big
Oh,
time.
I was sweating earlier big
I
time.
was looking at you. I'm like, man, I feel great in here. And then all of a sudden it's her dripping.
I was sweating all day.
Yeah.
It was a long day.
No, but I just think they're better, boys. That's all.
I'm all right.
They weren't their top shooters. Okay? They weren't. Like, we won a lot of basketball games before they even got here. Don't forget that.
They were literally picked off the scrap heap.
Nobody wanted them.
We got rid of Ersan once. We got rid of him again.
Ooh, we
picked
got rid of him once, and we'll do it again.
We picked up, like, everyone wants to crown BC on Bill and Ellie and Urson.
Yeah.
They were
literally
common sense moves.
He had no reason not to sign him. They said, hey, we'll come to you for nothing because we got cut.
And we like your program. And,
And Reddick and Chandler, like Deems is saying, they're better.
Yeah.
It's better.
Reddick was always better. That's why he played more.
And Chandler's better than both of them.
Yeah.
That's not even close. He can score. He can create his own shot. He can shoot the three enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's athletic. He can guard better than both of them can.
I mean, maybe if Rocco forgets that he got paid and finds his jump shot again.
There you go.
Hey,
There's another one.
Who knows?
But you expect that, everybody around the four guys to just have to fit in. You know what I mean? Just fit in. You expect them four to take the next step. That's what you're looking at. Them four, you expect to take a step forward. You expect Ben to come back with a jumper. You expect Embiid just to be even stronger. You see Markel's stronger, baby. That's an eye test. You just look at that kid. He got big quick, just like Lonzo did too. Like they get strong. So listen, great show. Love you all chiming in. Another edition, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
ATD Radio. Like thank Gibson Mayer LLC, sponsoring every Wednesday night show. Our certified public accountant.
Make
them
them
yours. Find them on the web. GibsonMayer.com. Tom Renone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milwakovic, Robbie Pose on the ones and twos. I hate Greg right now. I hate Kyle right now. I'll see all you boys later.
Bye.
Bye, girls.